welcome to the Intelligent Idea Podcast.
Sure if that worked right, but
hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Intelligent Idea Talkers Podcast, for the week of 11/12/2022, November 12th, 2022. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host D.
this is Juice.
This is Frank.
Yeah.
Hey, and we here to do
A review of the newest Black Panther movie that just came out.
Marvel movie.
Yes, the newest Marvel movie, Wakanda Forever.
So, real quick, is this still Phase 4?
No, this is the end.
Okay, so this is the end of Phase 4.
End of Phase 4.
This might be the best movie out of Phase 4.
100%.
Yeah,
no,
I think this...
no, Spider-Man. Spider-Man for me is the best movie out of Phase 4.
Spider-Man is in this. Okay, yeah, you're right. And then Shang-Chi ranks up there
Shang-Chi's
somewhere. I like
3.
Shang-Chi. Yeah, I thought
Shang-Chi's
that was cool.
probably number 3 for me.
It just
too.
doesn't tie in anything, you know.
Not really.
So
Well,
what's
he's supposedly going to become an Avenger, so it'll tie in somehow.
what do you guys basic score off the top?
Out of
Like
5
when do
or
you-
10.
10. I always do mine out of 10.
Okay.
I gave it a 7.4. I thought it was cool. IMDb gave it a 7.2.
7.4.
Nice.
I thought it was good.
Huh.
That was great. It was
Might
good.
be
Wait,
Bats.
what is great?
Please forgive him.
Bashenga.
7.4 is solid.
Bashenga, the first
No.
Black Panther, please.
Hey, wait. I gave Black Adam an 8, right? 7.9.
They do not call him General.
Hey,
They call him Cool Guy.
yeah, I liked how when Baku said that. You know what I'm
The
saying?
winged serpent's god.
No, man, hey, 7.4 is solid. I was never bored, but there were a lot of slow moments in it that was like, we went like a whole hour without, we saw Namor one time at the beginning, right? Or did he introduce himself to the mom and Shuri? Okay, yeah. Do y'all want to go down the list? What's your score?
This is spoiler, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
spoilers.
yeah, spoiler
100%.
alert.
Yeah, it's on the title, but definitely spoilers.
Okay.
For me, I gave it a cool 9, man.
9?
I'm with him.
Yeah,
9 out of 10.
9.
Not solid 9 out of 10.
Like,
Would you give the first movie? What would you give the first movie right now?
cool 9, man. For
Probably
me,
the
first
same.
movie,
Mhm.
Probably the same. Yeah.
I think I'm an action junkie, so like I get off on like the superhero aspect, like the doing cool things, and like some of the fights in this were a little lacking.
I
You
agree.
know,
I agree.
Like I just wanted a
agree.
little more action.
I honestly think the
final fight.
The final fight was
Over
kind
too
of trash.
quick. Yeah, it was over way
It was
too
kinda
quickly.
trash.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
it was not
that's
good. It was
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
Like Shuri's into Black Panther. Shuri is the Black
Spoiler.
Panther. She's not. She wasn't technical. Like she wasn't technical. She wasn't physical.
Mhm.
Like T'Challa was. Right. Like she's also like untrained. So any cool moves that she did do, I'm like, where'd she learn that
I
from?
thought that
Yeah,
too.
right.
I
You
thought
know?
her
double kick.
I thought her
Yeah.
move should be like a little more primal.
She
than
really
like,
just relied on strength.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
she just was going for it and not no
She was
skill
swinging.
involved.
She was
Yeah.
swinging. Like she wasn't technical. She wasn't physical. And because of that, like a lot of it was really lost. Like the character or the personification of the Black Panther was really lost on her, in my opinion. Like I felt she wasn't a strong enough Black Panther yet.
And I
You
felt
Yeah.
know? Like she needed more time in
Mhm.
order to show how much of a Black Panther she could be.
right,
You
she
know?
could be, yeah.
So like I felt like it was definitely lacking, and I agree with you on the action, but I got to be honest, I don't think Ryan Coogler as a director, I don't think he's good with action.
Right.
I'm just gonna be real. The action in the first Black Panther also kind of lacking, to be real honest.
Mhm.
But
yeah.
but more than makes up for it in storytelling.
Yeah,
The story in this movie was the strongest aspect of this movie whatsoever, and the actors, the characters,
Mhm.
strongest aspect. I think that is what he's amazing at.
I like the story.
action. Action, it's serviceable,
That's why
right?
they
It's
put it at the
serviceable for
end
the
and
plot.
that one scene in the middle,
What else did
Yeah,
Ryan
which is
Coogler
kind of
do?
the same what they did with the first movie. They had
Right.
one scene in the
Had
middle.
one,
that runs
had
to
one
Korea.
scene in the movie in Korea,
Yeah.
and then it had the scene. It had like a couple of little scenes here and there sprinkled
Yeah,
before Killmonger went to Wakanda, and then the scene at the end.
Yep.
That's it. Like I'm not sure he's really good with that, but
Right.
storytelling, same with the first Black Panther. I was like blown away by all of it. I was like,
Mhm.
this is so good.
yeah.
All of it was so good, and I feel like this is the same with this movie too.
I was telling Juice, man, like the color palette for Marvel is like all their movies just look great, man. This movie was like really bright and vibrant, and like the
Yeah.
colors
It
popped
was
out.
gorgeous.
And that's why I want to know what your wife thought about it too. Like, did it stay true to like its African heritage? I want to know how many, African people they had working behind the scenes on this movie, like to advise them for like wardrobe, like did the styles fit, or was it like, comic? I mean, it looked
like
looked
they
great.
went all in.
Yeah, it looked like they had somebody that knew what they were doing.
I feel like they did go all in, and they had like a lot of consultants and experts on this because
I like DC's color palette too, though. I just want to throw that in there. I do like DC, but it looked good, man.
Yeah,
really bright and vibrant.
I agree. No, I felt like getting back to like the characters, I felt like Angela Bassett needs to be nominated for an Oscar for her performance, dude.
Real talk, they that really was intense.
She looked so
like,
good.
Like every scene, she had such presence. she did.
When she walked into that Senate
she's
hearing or whatever
70.
it was, I was like,
she's almost 70.
I was
dog.
like, oh my,
yeah, that's what I was
like,
saying.
she's almost 70.
I mean,
you look like that at 70.
Even her wardrobe with like that gold kind of. I wish we had a picture of her or something, man. Like in that first scene, like that, she was just like she looked really queenly.
Gorgeous, but like, but she also commanded such presence in the movie, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was there, and you knew she was there. She was the center of the room. But I also got to give it to my boy M'Baku. Stole the movie. Every scene he was in, he was phenomenal. He had such range. Yeah. He was funny. He was serious. He knew how to play the room. Right. He knew how to play the room. Like it was just like I thought he stole the movie.
I said,
so props to him.
I just want to throw out there real quick. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever currently, and I know we don't put a lot of stock in Rotten Tomatoes, but it's sitting at 84% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, 95% audience score. Meanwhile, just for comparison, Black Adam, which I gave a higher score to,
like 40.
Is sitting at a 40 on Rotten Tomatoes and an 89% audience score. So the audience liked this movie just as much as Black Adam. And 7.4 is not bad. It's not a 9, but it's not a 6. It's all right.
So why the 7.4?
I just thought the story was lacking, and it kind of had some slow moments. I'm an action buff, and I wanted more action. Like I was telling you precast, man. Like the scene on the bridge with Okoye. I know we're gonna get into it. We're jumping all over the place.
I really
that was
enjoyed
a cool
that
fight scene, right?
I really enjoyed that.
But
Okoye got her chance to shine.
I wish M'Baku was there with her.
It's great to see how good like Danny Guerrera is like with her physicality and acting,
which is why I wanted her to be in the suit. I wanted her to be in the suit.
Could have done a lot better.
Like, because making her, I know we're jumping around a bit, and I'm sorry, but making her the Midnight Angel was like, she looked like the Predator. Like, like the helmet started back here, and like she had the braids or like those long tassels. Like and I'm just like, she looked like the Predator.
It was cool. It was on the helmet was on. I love the suit.
Yeah, I like the suit better when the helmet came on.
Yeah,
she took it off every scene.
But you know how it is with the superhero movies. Yeah. Everybody always has to take the helmets off or their masks off because they have to relate to the audience. They have to
it's probably contractual too. You have to have so much of your face or his face
in some capacity. It has to be. But but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
you're talking about the bridge with Okoye.
No, it was definitely awesome. But so I took some notes during the movie. I know this was like a thing. I knew we were doing a cast. So this scene I actually talked about in the movie. I'm glad you pulled this picture up. I thought it was a little bit cheesy when they all did that. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like I thought like just not the symbol itself because they did it in the first movie, just the way everybody was there, just it was like militaristic. It was like he was
it's a salute
to their king. But no, if you look at how Chadwick and his sister dapped each other up, they just kind of threw it at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like in the first movie,
but it's still
they kind of came and they bro hugged and they were just like, yeah, kind of
so
in this one, I thought everybody doing it at the same time, like a salute.
Yeah, it's their king.
I just didn't take it as a salute. I thought it was more of like a greeting, like like
no, it's a salute to their king.
I don't know. I thought it was cheesy how they all just did it all at the same time. Everybody does it and,
as the casket floated into the air.
Yeah, that's in my notes too. Where's the casket going? Did they explain where he's? Is there a burial site?
Buried it. Yeah,
they probably buried it, or it's probably in the water.
He was just floating up into the sky. I was like, where's he going?
They buried it. Or was that
before
this scene?
No. They
we never referenced that thing again.
They put the dirt on it. They put the two of them put the dirt on it, and then it got brought into the ship, and then the ship flew away, and we don't know.
Yeah, like what happened. Drop them in the ocean or something?
I think they might have dropped them in the ocean, honestly.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that. What happened to Chadwick? Where'd he go?
No, but this is a salute.
You would think they have like a
I understand. I just thought it was cheesy how they all just did it at once.
Like place.
It's kind of funny.
like a
it's kind of
graveyard.
funny
or
too.
something.
It's kind of funny too because I know this is a COVID movie, and I think history will be kind to this movie because of that. But like, there were like, no Avengers there, right? No one else was there.
I thought that
no
too.
Avengers. No one else that he fought with in Infinity
Yeah.
War. No one was there.
Like, I mean,
Nobody showed up, and I'm not sure if that's because Wakanda wanted to keep it like within Wakanda. They didn't want the world knowing that their Black Panther is gone
Or
and
sick.
leaving them open, leaving them vulnerable. So
guess.
that makes sense, but I'm not sure if it was just something that the Avengers didn't care about. The Avengers knew they didn't care about. I think Cap would have definitely been there.
Even Bucky,
Yeah,
like,
Bucky, he was
nobody
there
was
for
there.
a while.
Yeah,
I mean, not even Samuel L. Jackson wasn't even there. I mean, like
Background?
nobody, no
I
Shield representative.
honestly don't think they've met in the movies.
Have they not?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, just somebody
I
that we
don't think
recognize
they've
that
met.
paid homage to the movies that came before this in the Marvel Cinematic history. Like, where are these people at? Nobody
I
came in.
feel like it was the Queen's decision. She was like, "Yeah, no,
Probably.
I don't care about your little friends. Like, this is family business.
This is Wakanda business.
Yeah, this is kind of business. Like,
Yeah.
you have fun with them, they'll find out. But we handle this in house.
Yeah. I gotta say, this scene is beautiful though.
Oh, it was.
I thought it was
looked
beautiful.
great.
I didn't think I thought this scene was beautifully done.
That was my only
Like
problem.
the music, the ceremony.
I see your scepter up here, Juice. That was kind of reminded me of the scepter that you had.
I'm sorry, this image is still like one of my favorite images of this whole movie. Like, it's so deep, man. Like, you could tell her pain. Like, she's trying to figure out how she's gonna proceed with all this,
and
she's trying to be strong. Like, that's everything right here. She's trying to be strong through this entire ordeal.
To piggyback off what you're saying, I felt like all the characters in the movie, at least who were in the first movie that reappears here, I felt like a lot of the time their monologues or dialogue were like you felt the pain because you felt that they were close to Chadwick Boseman, the actor, and I feel like a lot of it was coming through in their through their words. Like Angela Bassett with the speech she was giving Okoye, telling her like, "You left my daughter out there, get out." Yeah. Have I not given everything? Like, we all saw that in the first trailer, but it's like now we have more context, and now you really understand when she was speaking through her pain. Yeah, like you felt that she was speaking through her pain with losing Chadwick Boseman, losing T'Challa. Yeah, so it worked for her, and it worked for her doubly well. Mm-hmm. It's just like you felt that.
I kind of felt the same with
I felt like Letitia Wright. I felt Letitia Wright. She was
like her pain was
very
real. Palpable.
It was real. It was real.
Tangible, man. Yeah, like just because you have to imagine. Like that's why I kept thinking about this whole movie. It's like this movie is set up like this. Not for the audience, not for the seats, and maybe a little bit, but mainly because they lost somebody they lost somebody
important.
They lost somebody that was important to them. Like they spent all that time filming the first movie. They did a lot of stuff surrounding that movie. They spent a lot of time together, and for a lot of them, this was their big come up movie too. Like Denai Guerrero from Walking Dead. Yeah, Winston Duke. I don't even know what he was in before. I
don't think he was in much before this. Like Letitia Wright was in like a couple of
one episode of Black Mirror that I know.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like, and I think she was in like one or two other things that I might have seen. But like, yeah, this was her big come up movie.
Yeah, and they all kind of came up all in this together. Like, the Tweets and Younger had some other stuff. She was in acting, but still.
I think her, Angela Bassett, even Martin Freeman, they were all like, almost approaching like A-list. Well, Angela Bassett's A-list, but like the other two were approaching like A-list before this movie, and I think this movie
catapulted them.
It's crazy. Remember when we were kids, and you remember like it used to be. It was hard to get like somebody to do like a comic book movie or superhero movie. You know,
they were terrible.
So bad. And like now, if you land a superhero role, it's got to be life changing for a lot of these actors, man. Because who heard of Tom Holland before he was Spider-Man? You know what I mean? Like
no one. But I mean, look at
Dave
Batista.
As Batista, even
he's a fucking wrestler,
even to a certain extent.
Like,
and he's not the Rock, skills, and he's not the Rock. Like the Rock already went down that road.
even with somebody like Robert Downey Jr. Like, I mean, landing the role of Iron Man had to change his life. I mean, playing that one character
and
for
Robert
15
Downey
years.
Jr. No, I'm not gonna no shade on Robert Downey Jr., but he got lucky. He was literally playing himself. But I think that's what
he was. That's why he was so good.
That's everyone's big break. That's almost everyone's big break. If you get the chance to play yourself, it's the easiest job in the world.
And you got to be that in such a central role to so many
things.
A empire that was still building, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like Cap's character, the actor, was playing himself too, which is why I don't believe he would betray Tony's memory like that by not telling about his parents. But that's another movie. So speaking about the scene with Angela Bassett in the Senate, man, she looks so good. So I like the whole thing where they stopped the SEAL team or the French team from getting into the vibranium research facility that they had. That was dope, man. I like that kind of like it was a show of power. Like they came in the Senate and was like, y'all want access to our resources, and just drop these dudes at their feet. Like, you're already trying to get our resources.
I like the juxtapositions here because as she was telling us, again, this is a really good marker of the storytelling. Like as she was telling the story, as she was saying her speech, the action scene was playing out in cuts, right? And it's like whatever it was matching. The editing was really good there because it was matching whatever she was saying. Like it was like a message, and then you see the action behind that message, and then it keeps going back and forth until it all comes together. And then they drop the SEAL team at their feet, and she's like, "If you ever think of trying us again, it's like if you ever think of trying us again, you're gonna regret it, just like they did." And she's like, "You're lucky they're alive."
Yeah, that was tight.
Consider this a gesture of good faith.
I knew something was up in that scene because remember the girl that he pointed, who could open the door, and the girl pointed to the girl. And you couldn't tell who it was because the hood was on. I was like, something's up with her. Who is that? You know what I mean? I can't see your face. Like you're no average scientist.
If you looked at the trailers a little closely, they reveal that it was Anika. So you kind of see that coming. But Anika was cool. I think I wish they did a little bit more with her.
Me too. Like I felt like her lines either got cut for time or something.
Yeah,
I feel like she didn't have a good.
She didn't have character development.
For character development and building relationships with the others. Like you saw. At the end, she was talking with Shuri, like when she had gotten rescued, and he was like, "Are y'all cool? Like, what? Why are you here?"
Yeah, because I mean, the only connection they had was like Shuri gave her those knives.
Yeah,
the vibranium knives.
Which I like those. We got to have a whole discussion about the vibranium technology and the weaponry. But I like those knives. I wish the spears are cool. I get what Okoye is saying, but we got to utilize different weapons.
I wish, man.
Like, I mean, don't you have like vibranium?
I wish these beads were real.
Aren't there blasters?
Those beads.
Is there not a thing to bringing a knife to a gunfight in this universe? Right? Like, so like,
unless it's a
pulse rifle. Unless you got remember,
like a pulse rifle, not a gun with but something that uses the vibranium technology, like a pulse blaster or something. I don't know. Nobody had projectile weapons.
The one simple thing about vibranium that always blew my mind is that it's undetectable by metal detectors.
Yeah, I want to hold a piece of vibranium.
Okoye in the first movie was able to walk right in there with her spear. T'Challa was able to walk in there. I mean, even though it was nanotechnology, but his suit is still made of vibranium. Like he was able to walk right in there.
I want to hold a piece of vibranium in my hands and just hold it, and like adamantium too. I just want to like balance and test the weight. You know what I mean? Like see how this thing feels. How does this feel? Shit.
Vibranium. Vibranium is stronger for those who don't know.
They be wasting shit. Yeah, but that was funny.
So let's talk about
I wish Ironheart would do something.
Ironheart. Okay. The crux of this entire movie.
Ironheart is
Riri.
Okay, yeah.
The crux of this entire movie.
Your girl Riri.
Like how did you guys feel about her? The actress and her role in this movie. Oh.
Actress did fine. Like she could have everything I kept waiting for her to show like a significant moment of why she's here. And she never had that like signature moment. Like this is why I'm here. I mean, like they said that she was like
listen to him.
I heard somebody else say she should have been younger.
I actually agree.
She should have been younger, so that way she looks like Shuri.
No. She was
because everything she did, Shuri could have did all that.
She was 19. She was
the actress looks older.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually the case. She's like 30, probably.
She could have not been in there at all. So when they walked in there with her, when they found her at the dorm, They walked into the garage. They had some plans on the little board right there. Did she say Stark Tech? Did Shuri say Stark Tech? Did she ask, was this is the Stark Tech?
No.
I swore she said something about Stark Tech, man. I wish they had subtitles in the movies, man.
No,
I swore she just
definitely
asked the question. She was like Stark Tech, and then they skipped. They never brought it up again.
No, she definitely.
But then when she had the suit on, the first suit, she had something there.
She didn't. She said something about the plans on the wall.
I thought she just asked
for
the
plans on the wall. She just said. I think she just asked, "What's that?" And she's like, "Oh, this is my life's work in here. It's something that I've been working on." And then she just snatches the plans off the wall once the cops come around.
She does, yeah.
I feel like it was something.
I kind of thought that because that armor she put on had the little
arc reactor
chest thing in there. Yeah, so I thought.
And that was what was on the diagram.
Yeah,
like it was a
it was like a thing.
It was an arc reactor. Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought it was something based on.
So
and then,
the thing about her, like we all know that Ironheart, is absolutely inspired by Tony Stark. 100%. We know this, but
Ironheart.
She looked distinct enough, though.
They never made that connection in this movie.
Mm-hmm. No, they didn't.
I looked for it.
That's why I was asking.
I looked for it 1,000%. They did not make that connection in this movie.
So so somebody was like, didn't Tony go to MIT in Civil War? Wasn't he gifting a grant to MIT? Was that MIT? Remember at the beginning, it was like everybody in here adventures is free for the next 3 years.
Yeah,
so she was an MIT student. Maybe they could have been a connection there or something. You know. I was like, because I swore she asked Stark Tech. I was like, they turn the subtitles on. I was about to ask her to rewind that shit. What'd she say?
I'm not sure. So the thing is the timeline between Civil War and this movie. It doesn't match up with that. Yeah, it doesn't match up with that. She would have been in high school. She would have been like middle of high school at this point.
How do you feel about Riri?
I mean, I thought she was fine. Like again, she didn't. You guys are right. She didn't stand out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at all.
I did like her character. She had some good lines, and there's definitely potential there for growth. But for being the person who was like the reason that the not Atlanteans, the
Talokan,
the Talokan were like doing all of this was her. I mean, you would have thought she might have had a bigger, more serious role in maybe righting her wrong or righting the issue, right? But
because the only thing she did in the movie of significance was make the machine that detected the vibranium, but they didn't even explain like how the government got. So she made that for
she fixed it. She figured it out as a challenge.
She did it as a challenge.
So how did they get her technology? The school? I guess they didn't have time to go into all that. I'm just deep diving into it. Did you like her suit? The second suit? It was kind of bulky.
I thought both suits were kind of cheesy.
It reminded me of Mega Man,
that's why I liked it because
I like the first suit better because it was like an exoskeleton kind of.
It wasn't anything like Iron Man.
I did like the first suit better too.
Yeah,
I did like the first suit better too.
I thought that one was like a little too clean.
It was a little more. I want to say practical for effects reasons, right? Like it seemed a little more practical.
Which I guess it would look better the second suit.
Which served the action scene better.
I wish we would have got more time to actually see it though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like every time it showed up, it was going really fast.
Yeah, it
made out one shot
really fast.
Was like here, and they got that one screenshot
of all three of them together.
No, just of the suit.
I will say I like this chase scene when she got into the first suit. I like that chase scene.
I thought that scene was really well done.
Better than the chase scene in the first movie.
Yeah,
I like this one better. I wish their spears would do something else though.
So. I thought it was a cool looking suit, man. Like, I don't know. I think it was kind of dope. I like the shoulder gear. You know what I'm saying? I know there's I just imagine everything there is chock full of like
I know Marvel. Like the problem I have with
she's gotta have weapons in there. What's underneath, right?
Those are boosters.
Oh yeah,
thrusters. But like I feel like the problem with her, the problem with the character in general that I had in this movie is that she didn't fit. She didn't fit in this movie whatsoever. Like like to be real, I think Ironheart. To be real, I think Ironheart was like a Marvel plant, right in this movie, right? Like it's one of those things where this movie was not. It did not fit in the formula of Marvel, and I feel of all of the Marvel movies that came before it. It was its own thing. It told its own story. I feel like her. And making her the center of the antagonist's reason for antagonizing. I feel like it was a Marvel plant. This is something that did not belong in this movie whatsoever. Now, I'm all for. Say again.
We all know the real reason.
What's the real reason?
She black.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like just looking at this picture, it screams like, does this fit in this movie to you? Does this make sense to be in this kind of movie to you?
The Midnight Angels were flying around too at the same time.
They came in a little bit around the same time she did. Yeah. They didn't fly until
this was in the same scene. It was in the same.
We didn't see them in the.
We saw the suit getting designed, but I'm just saying the effect of this suit, like the CGI effect of this suit, it just screams it doesn't belong. The colors are completely off from everything that we've experienced in Wakanda so far. I feel like this was just a Marvel plant hey, we've got to introduce Riri somehow. What better to introduce her in the movie with all the black people?
She was
right, you know. I feel like that's exactly what this was.
I'm so fine with that. I'm okay.
No, I feel like that's what this was. So this is my overall problem with her because like you said, she didn't have presence in the movie. She didn't do anything.
She didn't do nothing.
You know, she was just there for the villain. She was just there as a reason for villains to chase her. I felt the same with America Chavez and Doctor Strange, right? Like she was the center of the whole movie. But America Chavez, despite she had a lot of screen time in that movie, but I felt like it was the same thing. She served no real purpose other than the villain has to catch her for their own goals, right? She was just a vehicle for that. I felt like if Riri had stronger presence and maybe they developed her story a little bit more.
Yeah.
To make more sense with the Talokan people with Namor, then sure. Have Riri in it.
The only time
she didn't do anything. She did nothing.
I mean, ultimately, though, I'm fine with it mainly because of the fact that this sets her up for more development later.
That's literally all it is. Reason. That's literally all she was.
For me, that's a good reason.
She was all she was.
I liked her in the movie. I liked that she was there.
I'm glad she was in it. I'm glad she's getting her vehicle for her little TV show.
Yeah.
But like
she don't get a show.
But like she's in the biggest fucking movie of the year with all the other black people.
Look, they didn't have
do her better.
There was no
to be fair, she was American.
The movie, all I'm saying is the movie could have functioned. The movie could have functioned without her. Completely could have functioned without her. She didn't need to be written into the story in this fashion.
She's American, so she
could have been a random teacher on campus.
And plus, like her car, her car was
it could have been anybody. They didn't even have to go. They didn't even have to go down. They didn't even have to go down. What if, let's say, they didn't have to go down the route of having these entire people going after this one little girl? What if, God forbid, Namor and T'Challa in the comics had real fucking beef? What if Namor was the one that kills T'Challa? Do that. Make that make sense. Then every single reason would have been justified for what came next. Everything would have been justified for what came next.
Possibly, but that would not fly.
It wouldn't. But it's still a better idea. It's still a better idea than what they came up with. Yeah. We have to catch the American scientist because she built this machine that can track our people's world.
It just shows the extent of her genius.
It just shows that they're scared and they need better defense.
Yeah,
they need better defenses.
Okay, so D brought this up earlier. Let's talk about the battles Wakanda had, and I had some serious ass issues. They got routed twice.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, what the hell?
Especially the first time, because he warned the Queen Mother, "Hey, I'm gonna come for you." You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to have your guard up.
Yeah.
We saw M'Baku jump in there. Where was the rest of his tribe during that attack? Where were the troops? Where were they did get
routed. Everybody seemed surprised that they showed up. Like, Wakanda seemed cocky.
We haven't even touched on it. What did you think of the Atlanteans?
Wakanda seemed like, yeah, they did seem cocky. They seemed like all right, as long as we don't do anything crazy, they're not going to mess with us, right? And we're still Wakanda. You know, we still have the best resources.
No, he already snuck in there, and they dropped that machine at her feet or on the beach, so she knows they can get in there. Yeah,
and they did it, and she didn't even notice.
You didn't even have any shields underneath the water. I mean, something.
She didn't even notice.
Like no turrets or anything. Like there's no city defenses.
Kind of was like nobody in this world can swim but us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was kind of.
We were like, we don't have to defend.
I was kind of underwhelmed by that too.
We don't need no nets, no electric, nothing. We don't need no piranha, nothing.
What was this chick's name? What's her name in the? I know that Riri. Ironheart. Yeah, she. To be fair, she wasn't American, so she wasn't supposed to fit in. And
she was funny though.
Her armor stood out.
She was
like
funny.
It didn't fit.
I also think Riri was supposed to be that one character that's in every single movie that the audience in a movie like this that the audience can relate to. You know, like with the whole when Shuri was gonna go with Namor to go see like the other part of his world.
She was the kid,
and she was like from Black Adam. You know, she was like, "Wait, you're not gonna leave me here, right?" Because the audience like, "Yo, don't leave me. Like we wanna, we wanna stay and see what happens." And you know, the audience, of course, we're gonna follow Shuri, but it's like Riri's like, "You're not gonna go in there. You're not gonna go in that dark room. You're not gonna follow him, are you?" You know, she's asking all these questions like, "Ah, you're funny, Riri. We get you." But like,
good question.
What else, Riri? What else do you bring to the table?
Yeah,
you know, she's supposed to be a genius. I honestly didn't get that sense from her. I didn't get that sense from her.
They didn't give her anything in the script to show her.
They just had her be smart and have her have all this tech. Yeah, she supposedly built it. Yes, she supposedly is very smart.
Then they gave her some lines.
Get that. Then they gave her some lines.
Yeah, they didn't give her like tech lines. Like no actor actually knows what they're talking about. But give her some smart lines.
Yeah. Make her seem a little more intelligent than you made her.
They both agreed on whatever was called that. The animal that breathes with skin, the jellyfish. Yeah. They were like, they said the word at the same time. They're like,
you're smart. Okay. You're smart. Yeah, I know I'm smart. Are you smart?
I said the same time you did.
I must be.
But, you know, even up to this point in the movie, we hadn't even seen the Black Panther but for 5 minutes before this. You know what I mean? Like, so I accepted the suit.
So I want to talk about that. I feel like the Black Panther reveal was wasted. I feel like it
I thought they wasted it in the trailer.
I think it just happened. Now we were talking about this right before, but I feel like they did a good job in the trailer of like keeping it like being speculative
who it could be.
Yeah, exactly.
But we kind of know. I'm sure one of us guessed Shuri last cast.
Shuri was the top choice, but Shuri was the top choice.
Shuri is consistent with what we already know.
So when I found out it was Shuri, me personally, I was just like, no.
I was disappointed, honestly. I was disappointed, honestly. I wanted it to be Okoye because look at Okoye's, because the movie also did a good job of kind of keeping it like, hey,
Okoye doesn't have the royal blood lineage to be Black Panther, right?
That's true.
I think it would have made way more sense and been cooler if it was Nakia.
It would have made a whole lot more sense,
like
especially
Nakia would have filled the role better.
Yeah, she
would have had the stability of mind. Mm-hmm. She was close to T'Challa. Like Shuri's his sister, but Nakia was his like lover, right?
Yeah,
like
Nakia was his lover. Together. Yeah, they were together. But I think Okoye. Look at Okoye's. You know, because Okoye in the movie, she messes up. Right, yeah. She lets Shuri come along. She lets Shuri get captured. Ramonda's like, "You're out of the Dora," and then Okoye gets kicked out of the Dora. So what better? I feel like that's why it would have made a little more sense because Okoye is getting more character development in this movie. Mm-hmm. I feel like it would have made a lot more sense to have her be the Black Panther, to have her become the new Black Panther because Okoye is physical, Okoye is technical, Okoye,
we had a way better fight.
Oh yes, we would have. It would have made more sense.
It would have been
it would have made way more sense.
Her fight was cool.
It was. It really was. She had her moment. She honestly had her moment. Took three people out at the same time, yep. And then she had her ongoing like little battle or war with that one dude.
Yeah, and then the only way they got her out of bounds, like they hit her out of bounds with that hip check with the water bomb.
Yeah.
Which that bridge fight scene was way cool. I wish M'Baku had went with them and they were kind of like fighting back to back just to bring his tribe into it. Yeah, like so because we didn't get it much from that. Even when we saw M'Baku, we saw him with like these 2 or 3 other members of his tribe, and we didn't we didn't see anything else of him. I'm glad they kind of retconned him at the end. He was a good leader when he talked sense to Shuri, even though she's strong on him. But he was like, I'm not sure this is the best route to take.
I was just thinking, like, what if M'Baku was on campus?
He showed
his glasses.
That's a go! He'd have been so loud, yo.
Oh, God.
There's no way he could be undercover in anything, man. There's no way.
It would have been cool to see him there, though. Like, see his different fight style contrast to Okoye. You know, that would have been tight, man. They didn't show much of
Gorilla, man. Yeah.
So, look, we've been talking for a while now, man. What do we think about the design of the Atlanteans? Even though we can't call them Atlanteans. They're Talokan.
So, wait.
Man, I like that. I thought it was cool.
So, you mentioned something about them not being able to use the Atlantean words?
Yeah, so that's what I had heard it could be. That Atlantis is already I guess you can't
Atlantean
copyright
is a language?
No, but they have it in the Aquaman series, and I guess they kind of want to make it distinct.
So
you know which Atlantis you're talking about. This is not Aquaman, his name. But see, the Aquaman is what we have to compare it to. So I liked that they didn't look the same as the characters in Aquaman. Like, they looked different, and they looked alien, and they looked foreign, like, you know, like the gills and the breathing apparatus. You know, I was like, okay, like, I liked their look. Like, when they were on the bridge, and I guess that chick is like his general or something, with that walked up with the headdress.
Namora?
You know, yeah, she looked great, man. I was like, yo, she looks scary, and she looks like, even when Namor first appeared, he grabbed a helicopter and like twisted the shit and threw it, and I was like, these dudes is kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're a little bit intimidating.
Yeah,
like,
they
can come out the ocean
and like immediately spear that dude against the wall. I was like, oh,
sing to you and get you to commit suicide.
Yeah, that's what I really enjoyed. The siren song.
Right.
Yeah.
I never heard about that before.
Because I thought
mermaids do that.
Yeah.
Mermaids do that.
I mean, like a Marvel. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's a there's a bunch of siren.
Did you ever play Witcher 3?
A bunch of characters that can do that.
Yeah. No, I know about sirens.
Yeah.
Like,
they used to make you. They used to sing to you.
He used to lure you into the ocean and then kill you.
Yeah.
But like,
that was cool, man.
But
like,
dope, though.
I also like the fact that I'm not sure if it was just me, or inconsistency or whatever. But like, when they were out of the water, they were blue. When they were underwater, they were not.
Did you
notice that?
I had that same question.
Yeah.
When Shuri went down to visit, there were just a lot of regular ass people down there.
Yeah,
women
exactly.
holding their breath really.
I thought maybe it was
but
something
when they came out of the water, or whoever came out of the water, they were blue.
I thought maybe it was something to do with, like, remember she said that the oxygen absorbed to his skin. So maybe they don't explain a lot of the science.
Namor was different. Like, we all know that Namor was different, but like, or in this movie, it's Namor.
Yeah, I just took it as
I will talk. I love that joke.
I like the change. I like the change because it had meaning.
Namor.
It had the meaning. It had meaning. I'm like, hey, let's put our little spin on this. It's great.
It's cool.
Namor.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's Namor.
They had a love.
But we all know, like, Namor was different. Like, he was different. So like, out of water, outside of water, in the water, he was the same color. But like everyone else, it seemed that their color changed based off of oxygen.
You know what I got from this movie?
Or
like, living underwater must suck. Like, that's probably a terrible experience. I know that people in the village looked all happy, and I thought the city looked cool.
I mean, they probably think living outside of the water sucks.
But like, think about it. Think about like how your body, compared to how you are now. Would you want to develop gills and have to be underneath? I mean, it's cold as shit down there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like they're probably resistant to all that stuff.
I feel like it's about.
They gotta be.
Remember,
like, they all have to get.
But it would have to
stop. The reason Shuri had to wear that suit was because of the water pressure, but they were just chilling.
Yeah,
but you like going to the park with your kids and, you know, going out to eat with your wife.
Sure
and
what
do they do down there?
Ride whales.
Or ride a turtle.
How did they control the whales and the turtles? Did they just kind of train them like dogs or something?
So that's the whole like similarity of Namor.
They don't explain a lot of the science behind what's happening.
It's a similarity like Namor and Aquaman, like, you know how he can talk to fish too. And he can control them. Yeah.
I liked how when
he didn't display that in this movie, though.
Not about talking to them, but controlling them. Yeah, that one orca just.
That could have been his pet. He could have had that Joe in the farm. You know?
Right, that's what I was thinking. Maybe
in the kelp farm.
Bred them or something. Yeah.
Farming kelp.
What's his name? I like how when Namor was talking to him, like, we're going to war, like, it was kind of sounded like a sonar kind of a sound, like it was coming out of his gill. Did he have gills? No, he didn't have gills. But yeah, it sounded sonar-y.
Yeah.
You know, like that was pretty cool.
I think I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. Like they're my main issue with them is those water bombs. They seemed unusually
How did
effective
they make them? They just didn't explain a lot of the science in this movie.
to everything. Like one, you can blow up some cars but not destroy anything or kill anybody. Then you can throw like 4 at a impenetrable window you can break with your vibranium spear and blast that some bitch open.
So
what was in these
they
bombs?
hit the bottom of the boat with that thing, which is another issue with the Wakandans. B&D talked about that earlier. How they
we'll get into that.
They
man.
waged
That's a whole issue right there.
So
they waged the war on the wrong turf.
So to go back to the grenades.
They did not have home field advantage.
So I thought the grenades made sense because you got to think about water and water pressure, right? Like now think of a grenade, right? You know, a grenade it's a concussive force, right? And the explosion happens, and usually it's shrapnel and all of that stuff, right? The concussive force is the same with like the water grenade. Now, what's inside a grenade, you know, usually produces fire because of just the release of the speed and the release of the pressure, right? Like when it makes contact in the pins or whatever. But the same thing, I think it's the same thing with the water grenade. It's just now the release is water based, and it's just like think about like if you dive into the water, or if you fall, let's say you fall into the water at a great height. It's the same as hitting the ground. Right. The impact is exactly the same as hitting the ground, if not worse, because just it's water, right? So I feel like water pressure and the concussive force behind the grenade itself creates that effect, making it probably even stronger than a grenade that produces the fire, that produces an explosion. You know, so I feel like it kind of made sense.
Yeah, I bought it too. Like they could whip something up that.
I feel like it kind of made sense.
That bomb at the end was crazy when they blew up the bottom of the.
I guess
they definitely did not have home field
advantage.
It's
a science fiction movie, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, right.
Go too
true.
And they don't explain a lot of the science, and like we don't know how the beads work, and we don't like.
I wish these beads worked. Like,
remember when they showed up at the beginning and they were beating on the drum water to open the gate? Yeah. I thought that was dumb. I was like, what is this? Like, why are they beating on?
You didn't get that?
I mean, not really. I mean, no. I just thought maybe there could be a better way to.
Okay.
I know there was like.
I'll explain this to you. Let me show you. Remember in the first movie? When they. Okay, in the first movie, when in the beginning, when Okoye is flying, because Okoye is flying the ship. Okoye is flying the ship, and she's saying like we're about to enter Wakanda.
Right.
Where do they enter from? The sky.
Okay, right.
Enter from the sky. Now, when they beat the water, where did they enter from?
Through the Watergate, I guess.
Sky?
Yes, through the water. There's different entrances. So imagine if there was like
I'm just talking about like using the water to open it.
The water signifies that's the only way you can open the water gate. Now imagine there's like a volcano or something. They would have to like light something on fire.
Was it like vibranium water? Or something like they didn't explain the science in this shit. Is all I'm saying. Like, it's a couple lines. They don't have to go in depth to write a book on it. You know what I mean?
I feel
like,
hey,
this is how I got this technology.
I think that imagery I got 100%. I was like, that's dope.
I thought the imagery
they use water to open
their
water gate. You know, their water entrance.
I like the way it was, like the way the gate opened. You saw like the pulsing, the ripples. As it opened up.
And I just for comparison's sake, because the last cast we did Black Adam, Wakanda still looks distinctly different than Kahndaq. Okay, Kahndaq was like very underwhelming compared to flying through Wakanda. Wakanda is the country. What's the city? That Wakanda? The city is Wakanda. It's the city of Wakanda. So the country of
Wakanda is a country.
So what's the city that they were in?
It's a Biren.
Because they never really say it. I guess I could look it up. I could Google.
I don't remember.
It's Biren.
I just remember referring to it as
Wakanda, but it's something like that. But the city is Biren something.
When you see that, even without a title, you know what city that is, man. It looked good.
The fact of the matter is, like, if you want to compare,
show the monorail and whatnot. I'm like, go to the economy of Wakanda.
You want to compare Kahndaq to Wakanda? Kahndaq is like,
which is GDP. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has to be one of the richest countries on earth.
Wakanda cannot compare because I think one of the big flaws is that
they didn't
in general is that they don't pay attention to places enough in movies or books or whatever. Like for a place needs to be a character as well. Right. Like Gotham City is a character because we all know we can characterize Gotham. You hear Gotham City, you immediately think rundown, fucked up, always nighttime, always nighttime, super high crime. You know, like it's just depressing.
Way too much money, just gargoyles.
You know, the trash man ain't came in weeks. The trash and papers floating
now
everywhere.
You have like you think of like Metropolis. You think of like Metropolis. Metropolis is a little bit less of a character, but you think of like the Daily Planet.
But you still know
you see mostly the skies because Superman patrols the skies.
And the buildings look futuristic-y, you know, like you can kind of picture it.
You think of Kahndaq, you're like
in New York.
Yeah. I can't think of any, but you think Wakanda, you're like.
I thought they did a better job.
I'm looking everywhere. I see everything. I'm seeing all the people and the culture.
Was a culture that had its resources stripped.
Injustice.
It was a city,
but
that
it was
had
still
its
a city.
Resources.
But it was still a city that has resources stripped. But the thing is,
so it looked like
in that essence, it did strip it of its identity as well.
Yeah, there was no culture. It was people surviving. It was just a hood. It was a hood where people were surviving.
And they didn't have vibranium.
Yeah, they didn't have any resources.
I thought they did a better job, like Kahndaq on like the Injustice game. You know, the background for Black Adam is supposed to be like a Egyptian kind of themed, or you know.
I guess it's after he took over.
And I guess like
he made it better.
Well, I mean, in the movie he was gone for 5,000 years, so it would have been run down. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man, the Atlanteans were definitely scary. The city was cool. I just got the feeling that living underwater would suck. I know the little girl looked all happy and everything. She's like, "Help me!" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sorry, everybody underwater looked like
they looked like they were having a great time.
Looked like they were having a hard time holding their breath. That's what I kept seeing. They was like,
"Hurry up! Get the shot! Get the shot!"
Moments later,
somebody up there tells them, "You want to hit off this? You want to hit off this? Let me get a hit off that oxygen."
He's like, "All right, we got to do this 10 more times."
Oh my god.
Man,
if I smile.
Yeah, I definitely got the feeling living underwater would suck, man.
I mean, they probably don't even feel the cold, man. Like, real talk, you think about it, they're super strong. They probably don't even feel the cold. Like, imagine being in that cave.
I mean, he was down there with no pressure suit, the big ass suit that Shuri had on.
In that cave.
No, I'm just saying, compared to what I know right now, living underwater would suck.
Like, the cave looked cold and drafty.
Yeah,
but they're walking around that jungle like,
living
with
underwater,
no shoes on.
Living underwater would suck because we're not meant to live underwater. We're meant to live like
I guess they got
the surface.
They got like mutated.
Y'all want to go to the park?
Yeah.
There's no water at the park. I can't breathe.
I mean, but you know, nice 75-degree afternoon, walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to turn it down. What am I going to do?
They'll die, but with the same respect, we would die if, like, you know, whatever they deem a casual Saturday. They wanted us to do it. Like, we wouldn't survive. We wouldn't survive 2 minutes.
I just wanted to see like what day-to-day life was like.
That would be cool, though.
City.
Hopefully.
Like, do they grow crops? Are there like a section of people that go harvest food and get food?
To that point, you know, Namor is still alive, right? And you know, he's integral to the Fantastic Four, so we're gonna see him again. He's integral to the Fantastic Four.
Namor was probably, for me, I'm sorry to interrupt you, the dopest part of this movie. Like, his character, I wanted to see
really
Namor.
I enjoyed him a lot.
Standalone by himself right now.
I enjoyed him a lot.
Yeah, I like it. I enjoyed him a lot. I'm here for it.
Because because again, I think it was part of the storytelling. Like, I like his story. He
looked different enough.
I would like to
his
like
story was cool.
I like Ramonda.
I like how he came back to the plantation.
He killed Ramonda. Now, can we talk about that too?
Is
Queen Mother.
The bomb went off.
I felt like that was absolutely pointless. It didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen. And on top of that, Shuri was mourning T'Challa this entire movie. Her mom died. She has a little quick ceremony for her, and then at the end of the movie, she just remembers her brother. She doesn't remember her mother at all. Like, it's just like, yo, I understand that we're paying a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, but this character just lost her mother too.
Her mother.
And nothing. And her brother. And her father.
Yeah.
Like, and she doesn't remember either of those people.
And
at the
that
end.
is why we have to talk. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
That reason is the main reason we got the Force Ghost of
Ramonda. Oh,
Killmonger.
Killmonger. Yeah.
Like, so the only other person
unexpected.
who has experienced what she experienced, which is like one of the
Rage.
best parts of that movie, is when she walked around that chair and he was in that joint like,
yeah,
what's up, cousin?
Yeah.
Like,
she's like,
oh my god.
Yeah,
she's like,
started clapping and whatnot. I was like, oh, he was in there. I thought for a moment there. I thought for a moment there she was gonna convince him to come back.
She was like, what the?
She's like, Njidaka.
Why are you here?
I was like, yo, my hopes and dreams.
And
I was like, are they gonna do it? Thought they were
gonna.
gonna.
Killmonger was that was to me very unexpected. It was very unexpected, but it fit really well.
I thought she was going to convince him to come back with her for a split second there. I just thought I was like, yo, I was right.
Get him as a Force Ghost to like pop up from time to time.
Well, maybe, but
like his whole energy, his whole
confirms,
attitude fit the moment. I was like,
that he is dead. The character is dead.
That
he is dead. There's no way he's coming back. I
like the way he looked, man. He looked great, man. The hair, I liked all of it, man. I was like, oh, he would be so dope, man. And I know they thought about it. They probably thought to say, hey, he was a fan favorite. I know a lot of people thought we might bring him back. Let's put him in here. I'm glad they did it, man. That was cool. That was one of the best parts of the movie.
I think it was definitely because Ryan Coogler pretty much only works with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, they were
like exclusively. So
where is Michael B. Jordan? Does Killmonger rank as one of the top cinematic Marvel villains?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah,
because he's kind of up there with Thanos, not in power level, but in ideology.
He actually succeeded.
Yeah, he won.
He succeeded for a while,
and then they had to rest back.
in ideology, he was up there with Thanos. Like he was right. You kind of saw his point a little bit. And you're like, oh, okay, well, it does kind of make sense, man, you know. And he was strong, and yeah, of course, fuck Thanos, but you know,
he had the affinity.
Okay,
ring,
listen.
All you have to do is make more resources.
Yeah, right. But if I wipe
out
half
a life,
kill
everybody.
Yeah, he was a genocidal murderer. Yes, but
I can, but I don't want to. I want to kill them.
But snapped out. Yo, when he was cooking soup, when he was cooking soup at the beginning of Endgame, I was like, oh hell nah! Somebody take his head off. I was like, Thor, yes.
He can't be over here cooking soup.
You can't be here cooking stew and whatnot.
You can't be
sprinkling herbs and whatnot in your pot and whatnot. I was like, Thor, take his head off. Bring me his head.
That's fucking funny, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I like Killmonger, man. That was cool.
That was like stirring the pot.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
out of here, man.
Thor came in that joke.
Yeah. People like, what did you do? I went for the head.
The bridge fight scene was cool. So yeah, so they never explained how the Atlanteans were so strong, right? Because Okoye took out like 3 or 4 of these guys. Like spear stabs, vibranium spear stabs.
I think that's
even though I wish the spears did a little more, like a little energy shield, or projectile, or something.
I think that's not just
like because they got up and walked away.
I think that's just scientifically explained, like with them being with them having a physiology of being used to the water. Pressure of water is pressure and density of water is just way more than the surface. So,
but it was a vibranium weapon, and they never explained it.
Like, remember, Goku lived in
just a sentence,
the hyperbolic chamber. He lived in there for a while. He came out way stronger.
He came out stronger and denser.
In that. They live
in pressure,
but they went down in the moment, and then they just all got up.
They were born in it.
And remember, Okoye mentioned it, which I didn't like her getting kicked out of the little dodge. I didn't like. I was like, come on, she was defending the girl, and she wanted to go. Like, you don't have to. You got the bracelet. You can't have the video.
I didn't like.
I'm sure you recorded it. You can see what happened.
I didn't like it, but I felt like it definitely added to her character.
I was just like, I just was on the Okoye side. I was like, for what? What, you just suspended me, stripping me of my titles?
She failed.
But I'm like, she knows what happened.
She failed at her job.
Unfortunately,
I guess it's like
the queen was pissed. I don't know how you explain that shit to a mother who lost a kid.
Was it Simpoka? But she flipped out on her. That was her best scene, acting wise. I ain't gonna pass it. But yeah, I didn't like how she flipped out on her. I'm like, she was defending her, and you know what happened. I mean, you got an AI.
If it wasn't for Okoye, Shuri would have never gone.
Yeah.
You know,
I
mean, Shuri probably would have gone on her own, but like Shuri, like Okoye told Ramonda, is like, look, Shuri needs to get out.
M'Baku should have been there with her to back her up.
Ramonda?
To back up Okoye, and
Ramonda
maybe
can't
Okoye.
Fight.
No, I'm talking about on the bridge when Shuri.
Ramonda?
M'Baku.
Oh, I thought you said Amanda. My bad.
Nah, yeah, that's why I wish he was there so he could like, I don't know, offer Okoye some resources, back her up, join his tribe with her. She would have somewhere to fall back
more
on.
than one door.
Yeah, well, I mean, where was the other girl that had the double blade?
Okoye wanted to go by herself originally.
Because it's supposed to be simple. They weren't supposed to. Also, could we talk about how like that was a weird strategy? Have them come over, threaten Wakanda. Hey, do this. Go get the scientists. We don't know where they are. They go to do that. They got the scientists. They're on the way back, and then y'all niggas jumper.
And they get attacked.
Well, why didn't you just go?
Yeah.
If you already had this figured out, like y'all effing everything up.
Yeah, like if you knew where she was, then why didn't you just wait, or why didn't you just go get her yourself?
Because they were literally about to go talk with y'all. If you want to fight then about whether or not to kill her, then that's another thing. But don't abduct the queen's daughter on the bridge and
like I agree with that. That was a bit of a plot hole. That was a bit of a plot hole because it was the whole like, go get her for us. Right, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna get her, but we're gonna bring her back to Wakanda, and we're not gonna tell them." And then now it's the whole "don't tell nobody," and then like on the way back they get attacked.
Blue people running around now.
I like how they showed like the Atlantean being honorable. He kind of gave her her spear back when she was disarmed. Did she pop her shoulder back into place? Yeah. The bridge fight scene is a cool, fight scene. He throws into the spear just in case her shoulder. Yeah, that was pretty awesome, man. And I guess getting back to the Queen Mother, they had the only way I could see killing off Angela Bassett's character, spoiler alert, is maybe make a justification for it, is maybe she was outshining, like her presence on the screen was outshining maybe Shuri, and that was Shuri's moment to like step forth into the forefront and be the leader, and she couldn't do that with Angela Bassett still, but everybody would still look to her, even the audience would, because I respect. I'm Angela, what do you think? Yeah, but what was she gonna do?
You don't cut Angela Bassett's screen time.
What's she
gonna do? She's the most tenured actor there.
So you gotta kill her? I think Angela Bassett was like,
that bomb went off in her face. I was like the people in the movie. I was like, no, the slow motion, like, and I didn't even kill her. I was like, damn.
I think she went to the service.
Is this a Leia moment? I mean, is she getting sucked out the ship just to come back? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what that was? I don't know. That bomb went off right in her face. She should have been dead.
Yeah,
her and the girl should have been disintegrated.
I feel like like I said before, I feel like it was pointless. I feel like she shouldn't have died.
Yes.
Shuri needs some family to connect to. I feel like now the only connection she has is M'Baku, but she also has, like, we can talk about this I guess later, but like she also has the new T'Challa.
Now I had some issues with that too.
We'll talk about it later. That's
I'm like,
that's fine.
We'll talk about it later.
Really? Okay,
I got to say about that.
Lupita. When Lupita came on the screen,
hey man,
that joint was so good. I was like, she
she
turned around, I was like, she been hitting the Stairmaster or what? I mean, what's going on here? Like, they had a lot of provocative shots of her.
She always had that though.
It was kind of giving me Natasha Romanoff vibes. It was giving me
Black Panther.
I'm saying it's been a while.
It was giving me Black Widow vibes. Black Widow, they always had a shot of her butt
too. She's always had that.
I just never noticed.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, well, I see you, Lupita. She was great though.
Yeah, she's always had that.
I wish they explained like her technology, like the stuff she was. They don't explain the Wakandan technology. Like, what was that little speeder thing that she had? You know what I'm saying? Like, did it fly? No, it didn't fly. It was just like underwater.
Also another plot hole. Namor. I mean, I guess maybe she didn't go as deep
down
as Shuri did, but she went pretty far down.
Into
the sea, like that like her suit and the speeder that she had should not have held up.
I could buy it if it was vibranium.
Because it was in a cave.
It was in the same level where Riri was, right? Is that right? That's where she stopped. Okay, because I thought for a second I'm thinking she went like further down where Shuri was.
No.
You said 200 meters or something.
Because they have brought her back up after that. Because remember they had to take that like world tunnel thing.
Yeah, the whirlpool.
That was weird anyway. I didn't think really. I was like, what's happening? You know, and like when they went on that little tunnel ride, I was like, what is this? Where are we going? Like, is this like a magic carpet ride or something?
and dark. I was like,
yeah,
this is just like the
that's
stuff.
why I said living underwater
you
gotta
suck
suck.
me into a dark, wet,
dark hole,
swirling cavern.
Like,
you ever think about that, man? Like,
this is
can you
the
imagine
abyss.
that? Like,
This is
drowning in a
this is horror.
underwater crack in a
I was like,
cavern wall.
where's
Like,
Fudu?
bro, this
Fudu is nearby. Like, she's sleeping nearby.
The chupacabra.
That's funny. Yeah, man.
But I want to bring one thing up also. I don't know if this is like just if it meant anything or maybe it didn't, but maybe it did. But when Namor was talking at that with Shuri in that cavern next to the painting thing, and she was like, "Why are you different?" She was like, and he gave the whole backstory and all that stuff, and he was like, and then he mentioned, "I'm a mutant."
Yeah.
Is that the first time Marvel or Disney, I guess, has mentioned mutants?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ms. Marvel.
They mentioned mutants?
Mm-hmm. You mean the word mutant?
Yeah, mutants.
Like, I think
outside of like X-Men.
We know Marvel. I mean, we know Namor is a mutant.
Yeah,
he's not the first mutant because that was.
No, I'm pretty sure the end of Ms. Marvel reveals that she's also a mutant.
Who? Ms. Marvel?
Ms. Marvel, yeah. Well, they made her a mutant in this movie, or in this.
I thought she got her powers
MCU.
from the thing.
So what are Namor's?
She gets her powers. She gets her powers from the band, but the powers have to come from somewhere. So the power is actually within her, but she can use the bands as conduits. So the power has to come from somewhere, which isn't within her, which makes her a mutant.
Yeah.
But I think maybe you're right.
Lot of power.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right though. Maybe you're right though. Maybe the word mutant. That is definitely the first time that we've heard it.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the first time we've heard it in a movie.
Okay.
I would say, but like I feel like they said it at the end of Ms. Marvel. Spoilers from Ms. Marvel. Sorry.
I know I'm messing. I'm thinking Captain Marvel. Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel.
You're right. Yes.
Not Captain Marvel. Ms. Marvel.
You're right. Yes. But in the movie, that was the first time they referenced mutants.
Yeah.
Which, if we going back to Doctor Strange, they did have a Charles Xavier. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? They could do it.
We don't count that one.
Come on, Disney.
We don't count that one.
Come on, Disney.
We don't count that one.
Throw it to us.
What?
X-Men.
We don't count that one.
I want to see X-Men.
That loser, Charles Xavier. Are you serious?
They could have recast.
You get killed by a looky loo, by a psychic looky loo. Look over there. What? Next snap. What?
You weren't reading her mind this whole time. Like you be like,
quick, what's that?
I'm gonna tell him to look over there, and I'm gonna snap his neck. Look over there.
Maybe she didn't have a helmet on. Maybe she had Magneto's helmet. Isn't she Magneto's daughter? She might have had Magneto's helmet.
She didn't.
She did not have Magneto's. Scarlet Witch. She did not have Magneto's helmet on. She needs Magneto's helmet on in order to do that. She did not have it on.
Oh no!
She was like,
"There's no way." I'm gonna snap the neck of the greatest psychic in the world.
And
he's not gonna see this coming.
Maybe she just did it out of raw power.
Never stops coming.
We don't count that, Professor X. We do not count that one. That one is a travesty.
Maybe
that's
it was a mutant. That was another universe. Maybe it was a mutant. Maybe he got his powers
sure, he's a mutant. Yes, he's a mutant, but they never refer to it by name. And well, look at whatever happened. Look at what happened. Do we can really count that one? I don't. I don't count any of them. Losers.
I forgot about that. That was so whack. I completely forgot about it.
Super whack.
They are like 1 hour into
Look in here. What? What's in here?
Like, you'll never guess what he can do with his voice.
Like, hey, there's nothing in here.
He's going to blow you away with his voice.
Hey, there's nothing in here.
Yo. Oh, man. Nah, man, that was that.
But I think in movies, I think you're right. Like in movies, that's the first time. I think in movies, that's the first time they mentioned the word mutant. So they're finally losing the reins of that.
This is one thing Claudine brought up. Actually, brought up two things, but this is one thing she brought up. She was like, "Why do they understand each other so well?"
As far as language, wasn't there a translator?
Who?
Built in. Wasn't there a translator and
on like that one mask once?
Well, I think Namor speaks,
after that, everybody.
I think Namor speaks English.
Okay.
Like he spoke English.
Okay.
But like he spoke English. Like he was different from everyone else in that respect. Don't ask me to explain why, but like he was able to speak English where everyone else
maybe because he could go onto the surface.
Yeah. Everyone else spoke Talokan, right? And plus his mother is his mother was human. Not half human. His mother was human.
Mm-hmm.
So
I thought I heard somebody else say his father might have been the human component because if he was a mutant, he was born a mutant.
His mother was,
but his mother was transfigured by the drink that they made. They drank from the flower, right?
Before he was born.
So his half human side must come from his father because his mother wasn't human anymore. So like maybe the human,
but she was human.
The X gene came from his dad.
But she was human. Maybe his father was human too.
Probably.
Maybe his father was human too, but before he was born, he was transformed.
I liked when he came to the plantation and burned the plantation down. I thought that was cool, man. With the sugar cane plantation or something like that, he beating everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's a little kid. He rose up. That was pretty awesome, man.
That was justified.
Yeah,
I felt like that was a bit of a social commentary on like what would happen if we had the power to change that. But like,
I felt like 1 hour into this movie, we didn't get enough of Namor yet. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a 1 hour mark before we saw him and got his origin. So like, were you thinking like, where's Namor before that? Because I wasn't. I felt like the story in general was strong enough that I was focused on what was happening. Like to me, all of the politics around powerful.
Around Black Panther's death in Wakanda and what was going on and all the new people, all the new advisors. I felt like all of that was bringing my focus dead center to what was happening. And then when Namor made his appearance again, I was like, oh, hey, here he is.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. There was a lot of exposition. Did they ever explain how the vibranium related to the people of Talokan, the city of Atlantis? We don't call it Atlantis. For like a light source. Because Namor was draped in it. Like, how does it interact with that?
More than that.
There's his spear? Or spears were
what about the people? How does besides being mutated by the flower that they drank that grew from the vibranium, it would have been cool to see a flashback of another vibranium meteor splashing down to the ocean, you know? Or maybe the meteor that hit Wakanda went deep enough and it got to the bottom. Because they used it for a power source, right? Wasn't that a big orb of vibranium that floated up and he brought the sun to his people?
No, that wasn't an orb of vibranium.
I thought it was vibranium. I don't know.
I don't think that was
a little lost. I'm like, turn on the subtitles.
Subtitles. I'm trying to remember. Was that mentioned that there was a second meteor that crashed into the ocean? Or was that a possibility?
It was a possibility.
Oh, okay.
I assumed it was because they had
found
access to it.
That rut down there that the drill came across. So
maybe
they were like, hey, that's ours. They already knew about it.
So maybe that was like a refined version of the meteor. Yeah. Whatever that light was.
Yeah, I was trying to see how that connected to the people, to him.
As far as vibranium goes,
isn't really used.
Is that what they use to warm themselves?
No, but I mean that's Shuri's doing. Why Wakanda is so technologically advanced, whereas they use it more for like raw material.
Yeah.
You know, like building structures and buildings and whatever, right? Like. Technology was Shuri on the surface world, whereas like they were using it to build up their city as far as like foundation only.
I wish we got a closer look at their city.
So that was the connection. They use vibranium. They use vibranium just as much as vibranium was the connection. They use vibranium just as much as Wakanda did.
I'm sure they had a connection to it because they were of vibranium. It was part of their culture. But I just was like, how does this work? What are they doing? Like, does the sun emit heat too? Does it keep you warm?
No, I think it's just a matter of them using it as raw material to build their foundation.
Yeah,
that's all. I think that's all it is. But they also
didn't really explain that something.
They didn't at all.
That would be
never
cool.
touched it.
They were like, he said, "I brought the sun to my people." I was like,
and it was cool.
He's like, and he said something about now, and now you see what I have to protect.
Yeah.
And I was on his side at that point. I was like, yeah, he has a plan. I'm like, I'm not down with killing the scientist chick. You ain't got to kill her. Just tell her don't make no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, sabotage the ones you make. Go sabotage it. Tell them you got a better design. And
hell, man.
Sabotage her. Yeah, you know? What I'm saying? Shuri was right. She was a valuable resource for Wakanda. Like, don't kill her. And like the girl, for real, I'd be scared to go back to America because I feel like I'd have agents on my ass or something. You know what I mean? They're gonna try to find me.
Yeah,
they are.
You can make a machine to find us vibranium.
Like they should have kept her there.
Yeah, she was like, I want to go back home. Like,
I guess story, she's got to be over in America, but it makes way more sense for her to stay there.
Maybe she's smart enough to hide out. She built a suit, like an exoskeleton.
I feel like this kind of brings me. I feel like this kind of brings me to the final battle too, where Shuri has to make that decision of like, should she, does she follow Killmonger's way or does she follow the way of like her family?
Mm-hmm.
And like. I like she did what she did. I understand, it was the right decision, but like I felt like she should have done more. I felt like don't kill him, but fucking hurt him. Like he fucking killed your mother,
right?
Hurt him,
break his ankle wing.
Indirect, yeah. She ripped that ankle wing off.
She tore his little ankle wings. She tore his little ankle wings.
All 4 of them.
That's walking.
She tore his little ankle wings. Oh,
hang on. Throughout this whole movie, you have to admit that shit like it hurt. When she screamed, yeah, that shit. I was like, damn. She held it up in front of his face. I was like, man.
But do you think that hurt nearly as much as him running through her with a fucking spear?
He was kicking her ass. He was kicking her ass, but that shit like it hurt.
Which spear?
The one that ran through her.
The vibranium spear.
And then she broke it like this.
No. So there was a part of Sorry, it wasn't vibranium. Sorry, it was made of wood. I
thought it was vibranium. I thought it was vibranium.
I thought the tip was vibranium.
Maybe
there was one side of it that was vibranium, and the other side of it was not.
Well, so just make the whole thing out of vibranium. Because wood would degrade in water, right? Like, why are you making this out of wood? Well, you got to work on that.
I have no idea. But if the tip was made of vibranium, then there was enough to go right through. With enough strength, there was enough to go right through her suit.
Yeah,
I bought it. Yeah, because they said the spear was vibranium.
But do you think getting his little ankle wings ripped off hurt nearly as much as that?
No, of course not. But
that shit looked like it hurt.
Those were his ankle.
And I like what they did. I like what they did with the camera too. When that happens, like the camera blacks out for like a few seconds. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh shit, she's in pain. She's fucking hurt.
He was kicking ass, man. Even in that
attack, he was kicking her ass.
On that attack on Wakanda, he was kicking ass too. When they killed the Queen Mother, God rest her soul. Yeah, that attack. The defense
lost twice. Man.
They lost. I've lost serious respect for Wakanda.
I understand how they haven't been fighting nobody because they've been so superior. That maybe they put all their technology into like defenses. But y'all need to work on some actual bullets. Mm-hmm. Or
some kind of projectile,
maybe some explosives.
Yeah,
they do that one technology thing in the water.
Because I get that Black Panther is supposed to be their protector, but it's one person.
Yeah, where's the army? Where's
one person?
You have all these light construct shields.
Yeah. What are we doing with all this vibranium?
You have the Dora,
turn the bitches into light construct swords or something, man. Like lightsabers. Something
I felt like they had
losing to people with spears.
Yeah, I felt like
y'all have the spears.
That's
and
right.
You both got vibranium. And so what the hell?
Not only that, but they're coming from an unexpected place. They're coming from the water. We didn't expect anybody to come from the water. We just expect people to come from the skies.
Which I kind of bought, but they should have had some.
And I guess they should have had
something.
They were stronger. Military. So you have to understand, they were stronger because they were all
physiologically used to being in that pressure underwater.
Right,
sure,
right. So
but
understandable. You got to counter that with technology, man.
You kind of knew this was coming, so why didn't you prepare?
Right.
And
why didn't you
one of these Bama's can fly.
Yeah.
He was
so y'all could have bombed him from the sky.
I liked him in action. I liked him taking down
him onto the ship and bombed him from the sky.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking military strategy.
Wakandan technology looks dope, but they don't let us explore any of it.
Yeah, sure.
I liked him kicking their ass from the sky, and even the Wakanda man, talking about the defenses. Even that last battle scene, man, while we at the end. Okay, I mean, what are we doing, guys? We're fighting Atlanteans on the ocean. With one ship. It doesn't even levitate. I thought it was going to go out the water.
You had one person.
Your plan was to sail away.
You had one person that was able to get across your little sound waves and then fucking just
flew
like
right through the thing.
One person.
I was like,
just
you don't
like
have any like. What if she flew at it from the side?
Just like lock picking the fucking
Shouldn't the
fucking
one of
motor.
the main priorities be protecting
And it
this
shut
blaster
down.
at
The
all
thing
times?
is, when she did that, it shut down the entire fucking ship.
It's like you would have to force them out of the water.
The bad guys here? These are villain problems, right? These are how heroes win.
I was like, this
Like
is
you,
your
like y'all never saw Star Wars?
Death Star, yeah, exactly. Like the Death Star, you hit that
one little spot.
One spot. They hit it, and the whole ship is
You
there.
ever saw Star Wars 4 and 7?
Yeah,
They don't have Star Wars and Wakanda.
So was Wakanda the bad guys? That's crazy because
Yeah,
they got villain problems.
This
here.
is your entire military force here. I mean, like
They're
this
just
is a
like-
threat. Like he told you, he had more soldiers than you had blades of grass. So right, like you have to get
You have to
everything. All about
prepare.
all hands on deck. You know what
You
I'm
have
saying?
to
We bring in all the
prepare.
tribes, we consolidate, build up the army. I'm like,
Tell
I was
Shuri,
very underwhelmed by that
Shuri,
battle.
tell Shuri all hands on deck.
Right.
Build more defenses.
Like the fact that they were just walking around, like Mbaku's out here wearing wood armor.
Yeah.
Like y'all just walking around. Oh my God, we're getting flooded.
I was
What
very
the heck was
disappointed
happening?
in the use of
Were we not
Mbaku's
sure?
tribe.
And the fact of the matter is, they knew this was coming.
Yeah.
That's so important. They knew all of this it was a possibility. That was a huge mistake.
As soon as they
and
got
hubris.
back, they should have been like red alert, lock everything down.
Watch the waters. We need defenses to take care
Doug,
of
he
the water.
snuck in through the
Back
water
in
and
the
watched the
water.
water.
Yeah, like we need defenses to take care of the water
Right.
now. We're good with the skies. We need the water
Like some
to be
type of
covered
electric
All the
barrier or
ones who fly.
something. Let me talk to Shuri. I'll come on, man.
Like where's it?
Very disappointed.
Yeah.
Even in Baku,
Wait,
man.
maybe this is what Okoye should have been doing. I don't know who the new general was.
They fired her. Remember, they fired Okoye.
I don't
by then.
remember. I never remember her name.
It's not Ayo, right?
No. Ao.
Yeah,
No,
Ao.
it is Ao. It is
Ao,
Ao.
'cause-
Yeah, it's Ao. It's Ao. Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
AI.
All right. Ayo.
Ao.
It's another. So
What's her AI name? Her. I thought you were talking about her artificial intelligence. They have a name?
Ao is the other Dora. The one in Civil War.
Right.
Yes, that said move or you will be moved.
Yeah.
That's Ao.
like
Yeah.
remember Aneka kissed her at the end of
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
'Cause they're together.
Yeah.
I gotta
Aneka
watch
and
the
Ayo.
first one
So-
again. I gotta watch the first one again.
Ayo's a general.
Now she wasn't Aneka wasn't in the first movie.
She was only in Civil War
Aneka
or
no.
Endgame.
Ao was in Civil War, and then she's been in like Black Panther 1, and then she was in Infinity War.
And going back to like Infinity War just for a second, man, like I was very much more impressed with the Wakandan defenses in that movie. I mean, if it wasn't for Wakanda, which I didn't like how nobody else had to pitch in but Wakanda.
Yeah,
Why
and
does
like-
everybody send
And
troops
like-
there, man?
and
It's
like,
a world invasion.
where was the border tribe? You know,
Yeah,
like the
that's what
border
I'm saying.
tribe.
Even-
The border tribe was like the main, was like the, I guess, the last line of defense
Yeah.
before some real shit went down. Because the border tribe got like the entire fucking shield around the entire city. You know, it's like
Where were they at?
Where was
like
that
where were
area?
they at?
Guess
Like
they
like
weren't
like
cool no more after
Wakabi.
the
Like
last issue, right?
they only explain how Wakabi is in Wakandan prison.
Mm-hmm.
Like real brief with that one line, but it's like, okay, but they have to have another leader, and the tribe still exists. So where the hell were they? They completely forgot about
Even
them.
in Baku's tribe, like I was like, where
only
are the
4 dudes.
vibranium resources here? Where is like the weaponry? Like they
Well,
didn't.
they're more
His tribe were
traditional.
just just straight brutish. Like there's no.
That's who they are.
Give them something to
That's
but
who
give
they
them
are.
something to like not even spice them up, but just
Like you
for
said,
better their defense.
They don't care.
Be
They
strong.
don't,
Give them a
care
shield.
they don't care for vibranium. They just bully their way through.
I guess
things.
when he jumped into the water to save that person, I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I thought I'm like, don't jump down there. You know what he's
Keep going
doing, man?
down.
Yeah, like, jumping into
Just
enemy
keep-
territory here.
Like, can he swim?
He was like
It doesn't matter. He's a hero.
what do you call him? Kukulkan. Like when he drove towards him and then like he went to like hit him with the mace. And got
I
punched
gotta
across
tell
the
you.
water.
I gotta tell you.
Very
When Namor fucking hit M'Baku, I thought he died.
I
Me
thought he
too.
would put up more of a fight.
He
Like,
punched through.
Give me a little
No,
something.
no.
He did.
M'Baku was not going to
Especially
put
the way
up a fight
they-
against Namor.
especially the way they slowed it. Well, not a fight, but like some resourcefulness a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
Namor
of
just
course
like,
not raw.
Bam!
hand in hand, yeah.
I thought his heart exploded.
Namor, they did a good job of showing his strength. He's strong. Like I still don't think we know his true strength. Like he beat Shuri down.
No,
Like-
like Namor's fought the Hulk before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like squared.
And square, yeah, toe to toe.
Doped up.
He's
man.
he's hard as hell.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I was very underwhelmed by that final fight, man. Like, I'm like, your best plan is to grab him.
She wasn't gonna beat him any other way. Real talk.
And
T'Challa could only beat him with brains, of course.
T'Challa was able to go toe to toe with him physically up to a certain point, and then, like, you know, T'Challa gets tired, and Namor doesn't really get tired like that. So, yeah. I mean, you know, I was very disappointed by that final fight, man. Me too.
Like, and then like he crashed next to the water in the desert, right before he goes 1-on-1 with Shuri, and I'm like, why don't you just power up by going in the water, man? Why don't you
jump back out?
Yeah, and then jump back out and keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I would have did.
It said he like snuck up on him.
Yeah, I mean, I was just very underwhelmed by the defenses of Wakanda. Like, Wakanda, man, we got to do better here.
Hopefully, they learn their lesson this time and say, like, we have to watch the skies. And even though Telecon are allies now, the people of Telecon are allies now,
I feel like
we still need to watch for threats that can come from either direction.
Of course, yeah. I feel like, for me, speaking as a black man in a black movie, a black man, right? Like, I appreciate a strong male, like, heroic, competent character, you know, like Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. Like, and I wanted that to be M'Baku for this movie. Right, I thought he was very underused.
He was absolutely underused, but I feel
like
every time he was on screen, he completely killed it.
Oh, he definitely did. He dominated, and you wanted to hear more from him. But I'm glad they gave him that moment of counsel at the end when he counseled Shuri and tried to say, "Hey, maybe this is not the way we should do things." Like, it kind of showed growth for him from the first. I still didn't like how he was just a straight brute. Like, you know, again, that's banging on his chest. I'm like, I get it, because that's what he was in the first movie. But I like a guy that thinks that's.
I forgot what happened. You told him to shut up. Like, somebody told him to shut up. I think it was Ramonda or Okoye. She was like, you better.
I can see no projectiles.
That was that Queen Mother shit, though.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
she speaks, you shut up.
Yeah, everybody was like, because it was him and Okoye. They would go back and forth. Yeah, and she was like, look, shut us down. Make me get up.
It was for real.
Yeah, it was
like
real.
She speaks, you're like, oh, everybody's like, it's like, whoop.
You and Charlie,
like, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that one.
That joke. So, like, one more thing before we jump to like my biggest issues, and we're gonna talk about the future. But one more thing, talking about the past. T'Challa's death. How did you guys feel how they handled that? Like, we understand this whole movie was about the mourning and about it
was paying tribute.
Paying tribute, right? We understand all of that, but like the way they wrote it, where he just died from some unknown disease.
I had a large problem with it because it wasn't a hero's death. It happened off screen. Now, I feel like that was the best they could do or they could think of without cheapening it by doing like they did with Fast and Furious when Paul Walker dies, and then they still have him in scenes with his face CGI'd because they had his brother stand in for him and CGI'd his face onto his brother.
Agreed.
I feel like that was the best they could do, but I still would have liked to have at least more of an understanding of what happened to him, right? Because like essentially it was an unknown disease. His heart rate was failing. Okay, but this is very important to what comes next. So we want to have more exposition as to why is he like what is the disease at least? Why is he like this? When did this happen? How long has he been? Yeah, how long has he been in this condition?
After Infinity War, where he and Thanos squared, is this
exactly? Right? Like, we want to know,
this
like,
related to that at all?
What we want to know all of that, right? Like, to bring us in and to really get us, the audience, involved, because we all know that Chadwick Boseman is gone. We all know that, but we want to know how are you making it relevant to this situation? I feel like my issue with it was not a hero's death, and I feel like T'Challa, the character, deserved more than to die off screen, to die of a mysterious sickness off screen, right? And Shuri didn't even really have a chance to save him, right? So I felt like there should have been more effort there too, but I felt like this was the best they could do. So that's what I think.
All right.
Man, I felt like they handled it kind of with respect, you know, like they wanted to move forward with the people they had here, you know, and they paid homage to him. They gave him a mural. I'm glad they didn't show like his face, like a prop of his face, like laying there, like, you know, to pay respect to the actor Chadwick Boseman and his family, to not put a prosthetic face of him there. All we saw was the mural, right? That was it. There was no other pictures of him or anything like that. Yeah.
And the tribute at the end.
And then they just moved forward with the movie. The story, the narrative moved on. So yeah, I thought they did a good job with it, man. I thought they handled it well. Like, I just wish one of my main things with this movie, I wish we had seen the Black Panther more. I wish if Shuri's gonna be the Black Panther, fine. Just be in it maybe 20 more minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was only in the movie for like 15 minutes as the Black Panther. And I guess so why have it Black Panther or Wakanda Forever? Why not just call it Wakanda Forever at that point? You know, like, you know, I mean, because it was like you said before, Cass, I think it was an origin story, right? It's like how the new Black Panther came about. Yeah. And do we want to talk about his son? We're talking about the.
So like, I want to say like the way I felt about it was kind of like a mix between you two. Like, I understand why they did it, right? Like, I understand that, like, one, it was definitely wasn't hero's death. You wanted more from the character we know as T'Challa, right? From the Black Panther, the hero, right? You don't want him to go out with like off screen and all of a sudden he's just gone. And the last scene we saw him in, and we know it's not going to be the same actor. We know, and I also understand and I agree that we don't want them to do that weird facial CGI like they did with Professor X that one time, even though the name was still alive. But like, we don't want that, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you gotta give him a pass on it because, like I said earlier, like all the actors and actresses in this were close. So,
no, I'm with you.
Like,
yeah.
I do have to give him a pass on it.
Like I said, I think history. I think history
had to make a decision.
I think history will be kind to this movie because this movie was a COVID movie, right? It was shot during COVID. Like, it's a COVID movie, so I think history will be kind to it as far as, like, you know, none of the Avengers showing up to the funeral and the way they had to handle this, because it was very sudden when Chadwick Boseman died. Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Nobody
just found out. It was like
everyone just found out when it happened. He was only 43. Mm-hmm. You know, like, nobody knew. So it's like that's why I'm saying, like, they did the best they could. And I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. Like, I'll give them a pass. But honestly, the best thing they could have possibly done, recast the character.
Or recast the character leading up to the next,
or point. Just retcon Michael B. Jordan. That's all I'm saying. We all loved him when he popped on that screen.
Hey, remember, there's a multiverse.
Right. When he popped onto that screen, we were all excited. Right. We loved to see him on there, and I personally would have loved it if he would have taken over the mantle of the Black Panther, because everything was there. I'm sure, like, it seemed like an easy layup, you know. Because to be honest with you, I'm sorry, Juice. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. But like, the vengeance that Shuri felt at the end, I didn't buy it, because through how many movies has she been in now? Black Panther, 3. Infinity War. Was she in Endgame?
She was in Endgame. Yeah.
Okay, 3, 4. Like, it didn't fit her. Like, I felt like she would be. She was like the tech girl. Mm-hmm. Like, she played a role, and she was everything that scientist chick did that made the machine. Shuri could have did all that, because that character lent nothing to the story, really. Like, outside of her making the machine that detected the vibranium,
which is why
was she even there?
Which is why I really wanted
Shuri built the armor that Okoye had on. That thing was flying around. That could have did all the flying. Why was that character even there? You know,
so I felt like somebody else should have been in the suit besides Shuri, and Shuri could have maintained her role.
Michael B. Jordan
assisted.
I felt Shuri's like need for vengeance though.
I felt like the anger didn't fit her character for me for some reason. I was like, she's not angry. She's thoughtful. She thinks. Yeah, I can see her losing herself. Like, I can see her losing herself,
and she was already hurt. To me, that Like the one hit might have been she could have recovered, but the 2 hits,
I
her
bought
brother
her
and her
anger.
brother and her father, 3 hits. To me, that's almost unrecoverable for him. Like it's hard. It's like some deep diving, and I feel like if they continue the way this is now, Shuri's gonna have to do like to not become the tyrant villain. I don't think she's clear yet. Let me just say that. I don't think she's clear yet. She sent everybody off.
I think I bought her anger and that was it. Her sorrow more early in the movie when she was talking to the Queen Mother, Angela Bassett, you know.
It was sorrow.
And like she was showing her pain for the passing of her brother and everything. I bought that sorrow and pain more than I bought her talking to Killmonger. And even kind of Bumgarden
Namor?
Yeah, no, who's my man? M'Baku at the end. Remember she Bumgarden him when he was trying to counsel patients and all that. She was like, "No, you're gonna help us.
Like,
you know what I mean?"
help me.
And I didn't buy it. I was like, "She's not like that. She's been like that for 4 movies now."
I loved it.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I was like, "That's not."
It didn't fit. It didn't fit at all.
Yeah,
to
that
me.
anger and that forcefulness. She would be thoughtful.
That is
when
why
her and the scientists figured out how to dry. When her and the scientists figured out how to dry out Namor, that's Shuri. You know, figuring out the problem, not just I'm a go straight ahead. I'm a headbutt the problem. Like, nah, man, that was.
But
dude, that's Killmonger, which is why I got so excited when he
showed up.
And
it's because of that.
You have to understand. You have to understand. She just lost her mother, and
that was a big thing.
Her brother. So I didn't like it, but I felt like it fit with how she was feeling in the moment. You know. She also finally puts the Black Panther suit on. I just got
excited, and I let myself have a glimmer of hope when I saw Michael B. I was like, are they going to do this? I was like, are they going to do this?
That just confirmed he's dead.
Because I bought his swag and like the way he was talking, he was still there. I thought she might convince him because I knew he can't be Black Panther because you have to have empathy. Like to be a leader of Wakanda and be Black Panther, you have to embody empathy. And Killmonger doesn't have that, right? Killmonger. But he has the royal lineage, he has the blood, he has the strength. I thought maybe there was a way she was going to bring him back and reconstitute his body or something.
There's no way.
Yeah, because his body's like decomposing.
He is dead. Like you Force Ghost, you are dead.
Yeah, you did.
I did get excited. But I didn't buy that anger coming off Shuri. I was like,
I love that scene with her.
Even when she had the spear,
she was like, no, you're gonna do this. Fuck down.
She was being the leader.
She became the queen.
Yeah.
He counseled her, and she was like, "That's interesting. Now here's what we're gonna do."
But no.
In that moment, she took her influence from Killmonger, which I felt like she should have taken her influence from her brother. Her brother would have said the same thing as M'Baku in that moment. Like her mother. I don't know what Angela. I don't know what the Queen
was by range, but again, he was.
Yeah, and Killmonger touched on it. He touched on it. Yeah,
you're gonna handle business.
So that means we agree with Killmonger.
He's like, Are you gonna be soft like your brother?
To come back as the Black.
Are you gonna be soft like your brother? Even though, again, let's respect the dead. They're not gonna say that. He just said T'Challa was too noble, so they changed those words. But Killmonger would have said, "You're gonna be soft like T'Challa, or are you gonna take care of business like me?"
Right.
I like a darker Shuri. I don't want tech nerdy Shuri being the.
I just thought she fit the role.
Like
she figured out how to take the stone out of Vision's head. It wasn't for her.
So I had a larger issue. I wanted someone else to be in the suit because I have a larger issue with Shuri. This Shuri being the Black Panther. I don't think Letitia Wright has
any physicality.
Not only that, but I don't think she has. I don't think she can quite carry the movie in that sense. I thought she did pretty good too, but I feel like in a sense, I was also going through the movie hoping that it wasn't her that becomes the Black Panther. That would just happen to follow her throughout, and then it's the new Black Panther is revealed to be not her, and then we can kind of go from there.
They were both in the room. Remember that scene? There was that moment of like
Nakia.
Yeah. But they had it, and they were like, "Oh, it worked."
Dude, they had it with Okoye too. Okoye just disappears for a while. What is she doing? Where is she? Maybe she's training up. Maybe her and Shuri had a conversation. She puts the suit on. Yeah. Because the suit can fit anyone.
Midnight
Angel. You know? So it's
it doesn't give you the strength of the Black Panther. You get that through the herb.
Well, you get that through the herb, yes.
Which I felt like she should have been a little more weakened since this is like a synthetic herb. Is it synthetic? She made it.
Yeah, but it had a 98.7. Had a 98.7.
Potent.
Yeah, so it was just about as good.
We saw a little plot of them right at the end, right? So they're regrowing them. Yeah. So the line of the Black Panther has been restored. Is what we're trying to say. Yeah.
But I feel like Okoye would have been strong enough to handle the herb, handle the power of the herb. So
I don't know. I thought you had to have the lineage of the Black Panther.
Nakia would have had. I feel like the story would have.
I wanted it to be Nakia so bad.
I wanted it to be Killmonger, man. I just, it was, and Shuri, I get it. I think she can do well. I think she didn't carry this entire movie. The Queen Mother, Angela Bassett, did that. But she shared it. She shared it with. I think they didn't give M'Baku enough time to But
every time he was on screen, he did amazing.
He was on screen one time and he made fun of the Queen Mother.
He was on screen like 3 or 4 times.
I'm like, no, talk about your tactics. Talk about how are you going to defend the. Hey, you guys make sure y'all patrol this area over there. Show some leadership. I was like, when you see him, he's joking, and it's my problem. It's my problem with Finn. It's my problem with Finn. Okay, that's except for when he counseled
Star Wars.
When he counseled Shuri at the end, I thought he was being a leader then. But my problem with Finn, he never showed a leadership moment. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just a punchline all the time.
They played Finn.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, Finn was supposed to be a main character.
Disney stuff
was supposed to be a main character.
No, but a strong supporting character could be not a jokey. Like we see him, he's making fun of. Soon they'll be listening to her and jump. Like he did a heroic thing. I want to see I want to see him being a hero and saving people. Doing it's cool. Showing leadership qualities, and he did in that moment.
He's a leader of people.
He did, and they didn't do a good job of showing that because I wanted to see the power of his tribe. Show me something. Whenever we saw his tribe, we saw him. We didn't see anything from anybody.
They were traditionally villains.
Yeah,
so they're given.
But in this moment,
this role,
so you also got to consider you've seen the Jabari in 3 movies before this one.
Yeah, I wanted to see more because we lost Chadwick.
Their strength.
we lost Chadwick. We lost Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, even though he could have took over that kind of alpha supporting male role because he wasn't the lead. Shuri and Angela Bassett were the lead.
There's no way he could have taken.
But I just wanted him to show more leadership.
His ideology was too
he taking care of business. He was standing around joking when they attacked.
Not every time. He was
that attack
was
when he jumped in the water and he got punched by Namor and they punched him across the way and it's
he was a good advisor.
I wanted him to show
he was a good advisor.
Show some craftiness. You know what I'm saying? Do something.
He's a gorilla. He's not crafty.
He is but he should be a good warrior and a tactical thinker. Is I want him to
he's
show.
Not a thinker. He's not a thinker.
Neither was Finn, and that's the problem. How do y'all not have a problem with M'Baku, but you have a problem with Finn? How's that even possible?
They're very different.
Why is it different?
They're incredibly different.
No, I'm talking about the way they handled their character within their respective movies.
I like what they did.
He showed more. He challenged for the right to claim the title of Black Panther in the first movie.
Yeah.
So now that leadership is lost. It's all gone. You don't care anything about the leadership of your people. You know what I'm saying? You're just joking and on the side, and you don't working on the defenses and setting up against Namor.
M'Baku was big, cocky.
He was an ox. He was a goat. But just you don't have to. You can be big and show leadership. You know?
Yeah, he can for his people. He also like him. He's but not for everybody else.
Yeah, I wanted more from his tribe.
But we've seen that.
We have. But he should have been a prominent.
He should have been side. They're on the right side every time.
He should have been a prominent male role to bring to the forefront as far as a supporting actor within this movie, just doing things that you can look up to and say, yeah, that's the way that should be done.
But it's not.
And he did do it when he counseled Shuri, but I wanted more. I wanted even at the end, he was cowering on the top of the ship. I guess this is it. Unless they save us with the man, do something cool, man.
The movie's not called,
grab the laser. That's why they need projectile weapons.
The movie's not called Man Ape though. It's called Black Panther. Man Ape is his villain name, but it's not called Man Ape. It's called Black Panther.
You know what I'm saying?
I felt like he did great.
His character was underserved in this movie. That lacked
underused.
That lacked male.
That lacked male strong character.
He's gonna be in the show. You get all the M'Baku you want in the show. I guarantee it.
For a fleeting second, I thought maybe I would be disappointed with Shuri being the Black Panther because my mind had built up to Michael B. Jordan, but I wasn't. I wasn't disappointed at all. She can do it. And are they implying that with his son, that his son is going to be the one to take over the role of the Black Panther eventually?
Right? So that's what I want to talk about. And finally leading on into the future, right?
Right.
So is this now, with this kid being here, the way I read this, they killed T'Challa. T'Challa is officially dead. There's he faked his death and he's coming back later, right? Which is what I was honestly hoping for.
He did.
He's dead.
Yeah.
And now that Queen Ramonda's dead.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead because you don't live that down skipping your mother's funeral or something. So, are we okay with T'Challa Jr.?
Yes.
I'm a little more disappointed in Lupita.
I'm 100% okay with T'Challa Jr. Here's why. Unless you guys want to go first.
Go ahead,
okay, I'm perfectly okay with T'Challa Jr. So I don't know if you want to explain to the audience, but like, so Nakia and T'Challa have a son. His name is also T'Challa. He's Prince T'Challa. They decided to bring him to Haiti when he was a baby to raise him. T'Challa gets snapped away for 5 years. So Nakia was forced to raise young T'Challa by herself in Haiti. Cool, fine. They wanted to keep him in Haiti because of the they didn't want him involved with the politics and the royalty and all of the things about Wakanda. They wanted him to live a normal life. That's fine.
T'Challa wouldn't want that though. He would want him to.
They literally said in the movie that's what they both wanted.
Yeah, they said
they
it.
Literally said in the movie that's
why
what
would
they
you
both
not
wanted.
want your son to grow up amongst your people? That's his birthright. You know what I mean? Like he's entitled to that.
Because it's his son, but it's also Nakia's son, and maybe they talked about it. And maybe
she did leave. Yeah, she did leave the first one
for a reason. He's not, and it always sounded like I don't remember what her reason was leaving for. Do you remember?
For him,
to honor his memory, she should have came back.
For the kid, they had the kid. So you got to look at the timing.
Was already gone.
I mean, originally in the first movie, she had already left Wakanda.
Yeah, because they went to find her.
Why did she leave?
Because she's like a spy. Like she travels the world doing,
but not always necessarily sanctioned.
It's not a spy. She's not a spy. I shouldn't say she's a spy. She's like she's
a vigilante,
like a freedom fighter. Like a resistance fighter. Right? She does good all over the world, which is why in this movie she speaks like all the languages, even Atlantean.
Spanish. Was that?
Yeah.
So does she know Spanish?
Yeah, she does.
Because she was speaking fluently.
Her first name is Lupita.
Yeah. Well,
Haitians speak all kinds of French.
I know she speaks French. She spoke French in the movie.
Right. No, she spoke perfect Spanish. So she left for her own reasons, but you look at the timing that they had young T'Challa right after Black Panther 1 because they take him to Haiti, start raising him in Haiti. T'Challa's going back and forth, obviously. Snap happens, T'Challa's gone for 5 years. So that would put young T'Challa right now at about 6 years old, maybe 7. Because there was another year time jump in Wakanda Forever. So maybe he's about 7 years old here. Max 7. But I'm perfectly okay with young T'Challa because this makes us know that Shuri will not be Black Panther for long.
Ever?
She will not be Black Panther for
forever.
long. They can easily do a time jump with the next movie. And it doesn't even have to be about like him as Black Panther already as like close to an adult. It could be him on his journey to becoming Black Panther. And maybe there's a transition of Shuri passing the mantle down to young T'Challa to become the new Black Panther. I am 1,000% okay with what they did with this.
I'm okay
even
with
giving him the same name because traditionally that's not how it works. Traditionally, the second to last syllable in their name follows the alphabet. So his name should have been T'Chama, but his name is T'Challa because he's named after his father.
T'Chama.
So I'm 1,000% okay with this.
Yeah, I'm okay
with
it
only because I have to be. But I'll accept it. Sure, like I'm with it. Like let's see what happens. Like
what were your issues with it?
My main issues were that I still would rather have her to recast T'Challa. Right?
Oh yeah, I would rather have that too.
But they're not.
But I feel like with them not doing it, right? We don't make the decisions, but with them not doing it, I feel like this is the next best thing.
Maybe we can get this T'Challa to be the T'Challa that Chadwick T'Challa wasn't. Because remember, we had to split. They split T'Challa between Shuri and T'Challa. Being the brains, Shuri was the brains. T'Challa was the physical. Yeah,
T'Challa was the
so maybe this future T'Challa that we will maybe one day get, and I don't and we're gonna have Shuri for a while. I'm just gonna say.
I think if they do it right, we should only have Shuri for one more movie, and then she passes the mantle down one way or another.
Depends on the time jumps go. Like, then again, their villain is Kang, so who knows?
Right.
But Kang is all about time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they do a fucking time warp, and he leaves for 5 minutes. He comes back 5 minutes later.
However,
15 years older.
However long it takes for this next movie to be made, they can easily do like a 10-year time jump. Everybody's a little bit older, 10 years older. Not just a little bit. Everybody's about a decade older, and this kid is about 16, 17 years old. Hey, it's about that time, but you still need to train. You still need to develop, and we need to make sure that your heart can take the herb, because the herb's not meant for everybody, even if you're within the family.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so the herb, like, you can be stronger. You can be, if you're in the family, it's probably more likely that you can accept the herb. But like, if you're outside of the family, a lot less likely. But even still, this kid is his lineage is he should become the next Black Panther.
Yeah.
Right. It's his father's father, his father, and now him. Right. So
he was cute though.
I was okay with the kid.
He was
adorable, man.
I wasn't okay with his introduction.
Stop, man! Don't make me not like you. You're too cute tonight.
Did they? No, I was okay with the kid, but like, did they mention that the Queen Mother had met him?
Yes,
she knew him.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe that's what
tell
they were
Shuri.
about
That's
to
what I'm
say.
saying. His introduction. I'm like, you got family.
Shuri,
you know what they about to do?
Popped up.
You know what they about
when they were on the bank.
Yeah, maybe.
Remember,
but they should have made that kind of clear. Yeah, he did interrupt him. Yeah, she jumped up and grabbed the spear. All right, maybe. But, you know, like, I'm telling you, man, this type of shit is what makes little Killmongers, okay? Like, you don't hide away from Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because something could have happened to Lupita.
He's not wrong.
Next thing you know, because of Namor, they come killing her. Oh, I blame it on Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? But you don't make little Killmongers like this, man.
Killmonger.
Have him around his family. You know, they should have took Killmonger with them in the first movie. Nobody says they shouldn't have.
He's still around his family.
Killmonger should have went. He should have got on that plane though. You would have took him, Frank. If that was your nephew out there, you would have took Killmonger at the beginning of that movie. Hey, man, come on, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to explain to you why we had to do this. But you come with us.
Made up a story.
I'll explain to him. Did they bring the father's body back? They brought his father's body back, right? That was the king's brother. So they came over there.
They brought his
brother died. The kid, did they bring Killmonger's father's body back with them? I can't remember the first movie.
No.
Yeah, and they left Killmonger. Yeah, because I'm like, why would you bring the body and not bring the kid?
I don't think they mentioned it, but I don't think they did.
I never liked that, man. They try and make little Killmongers over here, man. Okay, hey, something could have happened to Lupita.
All I know is Haiti ain't always stable either. So
no,
Haiti is. I mean,
of all places, I'm like, you really want to
surrounded by water. You're at war with a water.
Beach look nice for the moment,
right? I mean, anything. I mean, like, you got Namor mad at you,
but hey, in a way, like
he was cute, but I was just like, why is he over here?
T'Challa growing up outside of Wakanda wouldn't have the dogma of we're isolated, we're staying away from everybody else.
And also
he would have
the resources, so he can build character.
Yeah, he would have the connection to the outer world,
right? And he still has his mother, who was Wakandan.
They say that
who was also a freedom fighter.
Who was also a teaching him
the
value.
Murked those two women in there, real quick.
Yeah, that was messed up. I was like, let her save her. I was like, why was she not? I could see why Lupita was ready to go. Yeah. I was like,
it was like, look, we gotta go.
She was like, sure. He was like, give me a bracelet. I was like, give her the bracelet. What are you doing? You just gonna you killed them, okay? They're not a threat now. Let her save her life. You could have prevented a war right there. Like, what are you doing?
Nah, he was looking at war.
But I mean, like,
sorry, I couldn't wait to start a war.
You don't like. I was like, what are you doing over here, man? Like, you're over here by yourself, man. All right, Wakanda's this way, man. Come with us, man. Right? You're not supposed to be out here by yourself, man.
Look, man, if you don't come with us, you're gonna be a Killmonger.
And like, you're gonna turn to Killmonger, man.
Guys, no. This kid, he's gonna be raised right. I promise you. And he will eventually go to Wakanda when it's time, when he's good and ready. They will bring him to Wakanda, and they will show him when he's ready about all the resources that he has, and about the fact that
Killmonger learned about all that stuff
too.
Hey, Killmonger learned about all that stuff too.
Not gonna find his own way there.
He's gonna walk up to the field.
See, the difference is he has his mom. He has his mother.
For now.
He has his mother, and he has his aunts.
Hey, Killmonger had his dad.
Shuri does. The queen is Shuri is the queen. She knows about him now.
Killmonger had his dad.
I don't know, man. She got here in the world, bro.
Hey.
You also be mindful. They still called her princess, so she's not a queen yet.
No.
She has to marry a king to become a queen. In this, I guess, in this case,
it's like a Targaryen thing.
So she's not. They still call her princess, so she's still a princess, a Disney princess, but she's still a princess.
I felt like they saved his son just for the reveal that snap, he has a son, because I feel like it's not. T'Challa was raised in Wakanda. Like, why would he not want that for his son? No matter how Lupita feels, look, he wanted Lupita to come back to. I'm sorry, I keep switching between real actor names, and actress names, and character names. But he wanted her to come back to Wakanda. He went and found her. Hey, come back with us. So now it's like, you can take my son across. Like, I just didn't get the point in that.
I feel like that decision,
I guess Killmonger was in LA or Oakland, right? So
I feel like that decision was definitely a shared decision, but I feel like that decision was also justified. It was justifiable.
I can see Child going with it.
I could definitely see him going with it, saying like, this is probably better. And as long as he's safe here, and as long as he has a great childhood here and he's loved, doesn't matter where he's raised.
As long as I'm here all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where he's, as long as I'm able to come back and forth, and then he disappears for 5 fucking years.
And then gets.
I wonder if she took him on child support.
And then gets killed. Well, not killed, but then dies.
Mm-hmm. Anything could have happened in them couple of years, man.
Child support.
Little Killmongers, man. She get broke off, bro. But you see, there's also that. There's also that. At least he can be
the royalty of Wakanda.
You know his income, dog. I'm getting
some Queen Ramonda.
Hey, monthly, bro. Hey, right here, my left hand, new money.
But the thing is, again,
hand.
the queen knew about him before she left.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's good, and so are they.
And they were in love, right? So I guess talked about the heart-shaped herb being back.
You gonna learn all the language.
Yeah, man. I think that was everything, man. Like, M'Baku was a good leader, man. He's risking war, doing his action.
Does your score change, or is still 7.4?
No, it's still 7 point.
7.4.
I'll give it 7.5 for you guys, man. 7.5, and that's only because of the action. I wish the action was a little more into, like, the bridge scene was cool. If M'Baku was a part of it, was just too short. Like, it was over. I'm an action junkie. I'm sorry. When I go to the movies,
you talking about the car chase scene?
The car chasing was cool, but no,
that was really long.
The hand-to-hand combat. I thought like M'Baku's character was underserved as a warrior and a leader. And when I say action, I'm not just talking about things blowing up, but like people making smart decisions and doing things that lead to victory, like making wins happen, like somebody going out and grabbing the victory, instead of just oh snap, this happened. Like, and that's the problem. Like at the end on the ship, something just happened and everybody was saved. Like it just happened. Like nobody jumped up and said, "I'm going to save us in this moment." And I guess maybe Shuri did.
Well, Shuri did.
But she was all fighting Namor across, so that was separate.
But Shuri got Namor to yield, and then she's like, "You got to come back with me and tell everybody to chill."
The storytelling in this, and like the defenses for Wakanda, I have to take all that into account for my rating. It's logic has to exist concurrently with action and things blowing up, but that's what makes a good superhero movie. That's why I had a problem with the Batman. It was too much drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see things like it's a superhero movie. I apologize to my son for taking him to see the Batman. I'm sorry, Darian. I didn't mean to do this.
Oh no!
I just assumed there would be more action in a Batman movie. He was 10 at this time. I think it was another one. My son was another one. But he was another one.
It's not a movie for 10 years.
He was watching that joint. He was like,
he's falling asleep.
Oh my God.
But it's not a movie for 10-year-olds. It's true.
I'm sorry, Darian. I didn't mean that.
I said it was a Batman.
He liked this movie though. I was never bored. I wasn't bored. I just wanted more action. It was my same problem with the first Black Panther. I wanted more action.
The movie was a little long. It definitely dragged at certain points. It was a little long.
It doesn't have to be things blowing up. Just people making good decisions.
Off topic. You guys play Gotham Knights?
Not yet.
No, but I heard it's not good.
I heard it's not good. Yeah.
I heard they switched up the combat style.
You like it?
I haven't played it.
I haven't played it.
I heard it's not
All
good.
I just want to
And I heard you
Hood.
don't switch through characters. You only play as one character on a playthrough. So at the beginning, you have to pick the character you're playing as. Is that true?
I think
because I'm going with Red Hood off the break.
Yeah,
I just
all day.
I mean, that's my first playthrough is Red Hood.
Red Hood,
yeah, of course. Right.
Yeah,
where's the night? Where's Damien? I don't know.
Red Hood is Jason Todd.
No,
yeah,
I mean like
Red
the Robin in there is
Tim.
It's
Tim?
Tim
Drake.
Is it Tim Drake?
Yeah.
I thought he was
looks
Nightwing.
like Damien. He's got the hood.
No, it is Tim Drake.
Also has the
Nightwing is Dick Grayson, right? So yeah,
okay.
Damien is Red Robin. Damien is Red Robin.
Okay.
Was it?
No. He was Red Robin.
Tim Drake is Red Hood, and Damien
Jason Todd is Red Hood.
Jason Todd is Red Hood.
Tim was Red Robin.
No, Damien is Red Robin.
What?
Tim is Robin.
Wait. When did
somebody's red?
Damien is what?
Red Robin.
Recently?
Yeah. Well, not really recently, like years back.
I don't know. I haven't really kept
up. Because Tim is Robin, just Robin. Tim is just Robin.
Why is Tim
Dick
Robin?
Grayson is Nightwing. Because Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Tim is Robin. Damien
Robin
is Red
applies
Robin.
sidekick to Batman.
Yeah.
That means he never branched off? He did, because he was red. Tim was definitely red.
No, Tim is Robin.
Nah, he had another name because he had the black helmet thing on and the long red cape.
Black helmet, red cape.
I can't remember.
Because I know Tim is Robin. Tim is Robin. Damien is Red Robin. And then you got Batgirl, Nightwing.
But to the game, I heard they changed up the combat system in Arkham Knight. So like the counter move, which is one thing that made the Arkham games so great in the first place, is like the combat.
Oh shit, he is Red Robin. I thought he was. Wait, but this is DeviantArt. Is this the actual image?
Well, I mean, it's other images, but yeah, this is his costume. I mean,
so yeah, man, I was kind of wary of that. I was like, that's like changing.
Then maybe I had it mixed up. Then if Tim is Red Robin, then.
Yeah. But
but I think that's Robin. I think that's like not Red Robin. But if Tim is Red Robin, that means Damien is Robin.
Look, you make me want to watch a video of the gameplay. Because one dude I know already watched the whole gameplay story on YouTube.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure. But like
become Red Robin again.
So if the thing happened, then he might, because he was dead for a while.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of dropped off. I thought he was still dead. So I don't know.
I'm confused because like they have opposing pictures here. Like he's both Robin and Red Robin, but which one is he now?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying that Damien isn't Red Robin.
I remember Damien was Red Robin for a time, but
I thought that was a while back. Robin.
But if Tim Drake is Red Robin, then Damien is Robin, because I always knew it was like one or the other. They never coexisted as the same character.
And depending on what continuity you're talking about, which comic book, like I don't follow the comics.
52, yeah.
This new day and age, but. Yeah, the combat system, man. I heard they switched it. That's like changing the combat system on Shadow of Mordor. It was simple, but triangle. When you see a counter coming in, the flash triangle. And the animations to the combat was cool. So like Arkham Knight, the one with the Batmobile, they didn't slow down. Like I thought the combat system in that was a little bit
too much Batmobile.
Yeah, it was. And I thought they lost something in the combat through the Batmobile. But I like the Batmobile.
Arkham
I think that's the one with the Batmobile. Yeah, that's where Batman.
Arkham Knight was the one that you just use the Batmobile for everything.
But it was a tank though. I enjoyed driving that drone.
I enjoyed it. It was just way too much of it.
The first one was Arkham Asylum.
I
never made it through Arkham Asylum.
Origins,
Arkham Knight, and
which people hated on Arkham Origins. I liked Arkham Origins.
I liked Arkham Origins too. I thought it was really good.
I thought it was dope.
I thought it had some of the best boss battles still.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the series.
Yeah, you're right. Killer Croc at the beginning.
Deathstroke
was tight.
I need to go back play that.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, Arkham Knight. I mean, I might check it out. The next game I'm getting is God of War. You play God of War, Frank?
I am playing it now.
Yeah.
What do you think so far? No spoilers. I'm getting it on Monday.
Oh man.
Well,
yeah. Does it compare to the first one? Like the story?
It's shaping up. It's shaping up to be just as good, if not better, than the first one.
How far are you into it?
I'm pretty far, not pretty far. I would say I'm still not halfway yet, but I'm like I'm like a third of the way through.
Does do a Atreus? Yeah, how's the combat? Same as the You didn't have to change.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you didn't have to change anything.
You did not have to change
the way it was. You know, I'm sure they added some new animations and whatnot, right? Like chopping somebody's head off. You know.
Yeah, it's all back. Yeah, it's all there.
Do Atreus and Kratos still have like that? Do they bicker still? That was one thing with the first game. Like Atreus would just say little shit, man. I'm like, dude, I'm about to backslap the shit out of you, man.
So
he'd be like, whatever.
So now it's not so much bickering. It's
remember in the first one, you tell him to shoot an arrow, he'd be like, whatever.
Well, that was when he was going through some shit.
With him.
He was going through some shit. So you just not listening to you. And I'm like, boy, you better listen to me. Like I need your help now. But now it's not so much bickering now because like Atreus is getting a little older, so is Kratos. So Kratos is becoming a little more like sympathetic. But at the same time, there are some interesting things that are happening with Atreus. I'm not gonna say there's some real interesting things that are happening with him that like you want to see this journey through to see what the hell was that all about, because it was fucking crazy. I also did get I got past the fight with Thor. That was fucking cool.
I was just gonna ask, is there a big baddie? Who's the beginning?
That was close to the beginning.
Who's the beginning? So they introduced us to Baldur in the first one. Spoiler alert for the first God of War. This is way off topic, but we're in the video game too. So they introduced. Is there like a big intro scene, like a fight? You know, don't spoil anything, like who it is. Because that was one of the good things about the first game is like the story was really good too. As far as the combat was fun, and then the cinematic parts that were blending together, you were like, "Yo, what's going on?" It's like I'm playing a movie.
So right
remember when you were fighting on the back of the dragon in the first one? You fighting Baldur, shit was so dope. I was into that. I was into that. Like, oh shit,
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say, there are several battles like that. There are several battles like that.
Cinematic. Cinematic gameplay.
That's not going anywhere. They better not make that go anywhere.
It's like
it's all seamless.
It's all
seamless. Nice. That's like the God of War games are like the closest that you can actually get to playing a movie, like a really immersive, interactive movie. You know, because it's seamless. There are no cuts. Right, everything gameplay cinematic is seamless, and it's all appears to be done in one shot. You know. So
I've been anticipating the game for a while. It came out last week. I didn't get it.
Wonderful. I'm playing it now.
I played God of War. I've been playing it every night for like a week. I played God of War back in the summertime. I stopped in like August because I didn't want to get too tired of God of War because it was supposed to come out in October, right?
No, it's supposed to come out like June, and then they pushed it back to November.
Okay, because I thought I heard October at first, man. So I was waiting until October. Then they pushed it back, and I was like, man, I already played God of War. Like, what am I supposed to play? So I've been waiting for a month. And now here it is, a week into being out. I still have.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm gonna get it. It was on the way. So the combat is cool. How are the power animations? Does he do like
dude? It's all great. It's all great.
Do you have the fire blades at the very beginning?
Yes, you do. You do.
Okay, yeah. There's no spoilers though.
It's not a spoiler because
I just want to know.
You beat the first one? Yeah. So you remember you have them. I mean, it takes you a while to get them in the first game.
Yeah. I was halfway through.
You have them, and you also have the axe, the frost axe, in the beginning.
Yeah, you were getting a little bored of using the axe so much at first, and they brought the blades in and like refreshed the gameplay.
And now they have you use the blades. They have used the blades a lot more often, in different ways now, as far as like. You know, platforming and
holding the winds of hell and shit. Opening shit.
It's pretty tight. It's just the deep combat system. It's all good. It's all good.
He all gleeful talking about it. I want the game.
Just play it. Just go out and play it.
Like you just can't wait to get back home, bro. Press that controller button as soon as I
go out and play it.
Yeah, man.
I got my controller charged up too. I'm ready for an all-night bender.
Anything else on Black Panther? Bring it back to Black Panther.
No.
Let
me check my notes real quick.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's a good movie, man. Go see it.
Yeah, man. Like for me, it was very different from the first movie.
I know
for very good reason, right? Like it was a completely different scenario, but definitely definitely on my top like movies that
I
came out this year.
There was this lady behind us, man. We went like early in the morning, man. It was 10:35, 10:40 when we got in there. So I showed up, I was telling you, man, I showed up, you know, the movie says 10:45, you know, so show up at 10:46, 10:47, you're like, oh, there's still got 15 minutes of trailer. So yeah, like I don't care what, you know, I can miss a trailer or two. So we got in there, it's like 10:48. Like they're already into the scene of Shuri, like trying to save. Was he on point? So was he supposed to have in the very beginning of the movie? Was Chadwick supposed to be there on the table with them? Because when I came in, she was sobbing over not being able to save her brother. You know what I mean? So like, what did I miss? Because I walked in, they were already in there, and I was like, "The fuck, man!" It's like 3 minutes after the time the start of the movie, and I'm walking into this scene. Like, what did I miss? I was about to go ask for another time, like meet another time, because I missed 3 minutes of the movie. You know.
I don't think it was. I don't think it really missed much. Like,
yeah, I imagine
it was really just her pacing back and forth, and then Queen Wamanda coming in and telling that.
Okay, yeah,
because she was pacing back and forth, trying to figure out the herb. She was testing like whether or not it was.
Okay, yeah. It was literally like 2 minutes after 10:45, 10:47, and that's when I walked in. Like, what did I miss, bro?
Nah, you didn't miss much. I mean, the opening scene was just like, you know, her trying to do the herb, and then the computer said something like King T'Challa's heart rate is now at this level. And then she just keeps working furiously. And then you probably walked in before this.
And she had printed the herb. Well, she printed the herb. It was like 32%.
It was less than. It was like 20. It was like
okay, yeah, I missed all that. I walked in and I think the Queen Mother was talking to her when I walked in. And she was sobbing.
Oh yeah. So when the Queen Mother came in, that's when she was about to tell.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that pacing back and forth. So I was like, what did I miss, man? Because usually it's like.
That first scene, okay. Like with a few lines of dialogue already established that King T'Challa was dying, his heart rate was failing.
So when did you see it? You saw it Thursday.
Thursday.
Did they show any good trailers?
Afternoon.
Anybody have any good trailers? I didn't see trailer. All I saw was the same trailer we received with Avatar. I think they put a couple new pictures in there.
There's a new John Wick trailer.
Oh, it was a trailer?
There's a new John Wick trailer. Yeah.
I heard they were finished with it. I heard they were finished with that movie.
Yeah,
but I didn't know there was a trailer.
Yeah, it's coming out next March. But
you can make those fast because that's just choreography, like no CGI and computer rendering.
But it's coming out next March. It's coming out the day after my birthday, actually. So March is going to be a crazy month because we got Creed, which they also showed the trailer for.
So Creed. Look, I saw what's his name, Jonathan Majors, and like he was in every trailer I saw.
He's in a lot of stuff, man. He's in a lot of stuff now.
It was the Ant-Man trailer. It was the Creed trailer, and it was a movie called Devotion, where he was like a pilot.
Yeah.
Which
with the dude from Top Gun, right?
Yeah,
Top Gun Maverick.
I don't know.
I didn't see Top Gun. You never saw Maverick? What?
Nah,
I heard
that. I haven't seen it.
That movie has like a 9.5.
That movie is so good.
I haven't seen it either, but I heard it's great.
Yo, that movie is so good.
Like out of 10, that thing has like a 9.8 or something.
Everybody loves it. I'm trying to figure out how is it so good.
Yeah, I'm like, is he just flying a really fast jet?
Yo, watch it.
Top Gun 1 was great.
Top Gun 2 was even better.
But it was only like a 7.5. I love Top Gun 1, but it wasn't like amazing. I'm like, why is Top Gun 2 so good?
Watch it. Watch it and you will see.
I'll get it on Redbox, I guess at this point. It's not
Maverick was amazing. Yeah. Maverick was a really good movie. Maverick was my choice for movie
Max?
of the year for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me one reason why it's so much better.
Than the first movie or just in general?
Just in general.
So Maverick,
why is it so good?
So Maverick, purely on the flight scenes, purely based on the flight scenes. Okay. The choreography and the acting in the cockpit, fucking amazing. The shit they do and the storyline behind like what they have to do and why they get in the jets.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yes.
All right, cool. So here, my whole take on this movie and why I didn't really care to see it was like I liked Top Gun 1 and it was reasonable, fine. I don't remember the story, but like to bring it back after like 20 years to do another one. It's been like,
dude, it's been like,
what are you guys doing? Like, why? Who asked for this?
40 years.
Yeah, like
it's been almost 40 years since Top Gun's.
Like Tom Cruise is old, and it's just like
Top Gun came out in the 80s.
See, Why? It's like and then we saw all the Rambo, his remake. We saw the fucking Terminator remakes.
Rambo.
Yeah, he has a movie that
I
just came out. Rocky
remakes with
all
Creed,
these well, the Creed
Rocky
ones were good.
Rocky Balboa was a ring. I thought Rocky Balboa was really good.
I didn't see it. You
didn't? What?
No.
You gotta watch that too.
I like Creed. Creed was good enough for me.
Creed was good. Rocky Balboa was good, but for me, the reason why the Creed movies are good, which is why I'm really scared about the third one, but the reason why the Creed movies were good was because of Rocky, because of Sylvester Stallone. He brought emotional weight to those movies, right? But now we don't have him anymore in Creed 3, so now I'm a little scared because I'm not sure if it can stand on its own without him. But we'll see.
I think Mike can carry.
We'll see.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan's pretty good.
Yeah, I think
he is, but is he a good director? We don't know.
I thought Coogler was directing this.
No, Coogler didn't direct since the first one.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He didn't direct since the first one.
He directed the second one.
No, he did not.
I thought that was on his.
Absolutely not. He was probably an executive producer, but go ahead, check. He did not direct the second one.
I thought I saw it.
Well,
I check IMDb a lot.
But yeah. Okay. So I mean, look, if it's good, if you say it's good, I believe you.
Maverick is a great movie.
After so many of these like remakes of these old ass 80s movies, I'm just like,
I get it.
I don't care.
I get it.
I'm not. You're not getting me this time.
And you can wait however long you want to see Maverick, but I had a great time, and it was also one of those things where even like Tom Cruise is coming out saying like, please go see this movie in the theater. It's meant to be seen in the theater, and I did watch it in the theater, and I was just like,
yeah,
so good.
It says
so
he did,
good.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I think he did Creed. I mean,
that's Creed 1.
It's on his filmography. I don't know. I think he's doing Creed 3 then too.
No, Michael B. Jordan's doing Creed 3.
Or it was maybe just the trailer. I don't know.
Well, Jonathan Majors is in that. He's an amazing actor.
He's got good range too.
He's like really good. Like he's one of my favorite actors right now.
But so, I am looking forward to Creed. But yeah, like I said, March is going to be a crazy month next year because we got Creed and then John Wick, and then I think that Dungeons and Dragons movie looks really good.
I saw part of the trailer, but I didn't get
the trailer. The trailer for it is really good
with Chris Pine.
With Chris Pine, yeah.
I just pulled up IMDb and the trailer for John Wick popped up, so I'm about to watch it after this. I have to watch that. Yeah. Is it good? Is it a good trailer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Donnie Yen is supposed to be like the main villain. Yeah, he's supposed to be the main villain now.
Okay, cool.
Well, no, he's not supposed to be the main villain. He's supposed to be the main physical villain. And then there's like another guy that's like beyond him, but like he's more for the story. But Donnie Yen is supposed to be like the wall. So I'm like,
I'm already in.
And Donnie Yen is walking in with a fucking sword and a gun and like on some Devil May Cry shit. I'm like, yo, let's go.
I'm already in. I gotta watch the trailer.
I mean, of course, like it's John Wick, I'm definitely in. But like, I never liked that in the third John Wick, man. Like, how are you gonna have somebody above the high table? You know, like if I can go to one guy, what's the point of the high table?
Well, now in John Wick,
always like one person above. It's like
now in John Wick 4, it's about
is the guy above the high table.
It's about him becoming free of the high table. So
I guess he already is
bigger, man.
Yeah, I went over the high table. I went above you. It's just nothing.
I'll speak to your manager.
Yeah, I was like, I'm talking to your manager. You know, he was like walked the desert and found the guy above the high table. I was like, what is that? It wasn't well explained. Yeah, but I was already in from John Wick 1. I mean, man, like, yeah, take my money. John Wick 2 is still the best one. I like John Wick 2. Even though in part 3 was the best one. In part 3, that sword fight on a motorcycle, I've never seen a ninja, sword fight, choreographed on a while doing a motorcycle chase. You know what I mean? That was kind of unique and cool. Like even the horse kicks and all that. But yeah, I like 2 because of Common. I thought Common brought a lot to that role. I wish he had came back in 3. They'd have brought Cassian. Brought his character back. Is he gonna be in 4?
No.
He should drop in 4, man. He was cool. He did a great job in that movie, right? Like he was good. He was like he was going toe to toe with John Wick. Like not many agents can say, and he lived. Not many people can say that.
Well, John Wick let him live.
I mean, John Wick takes no prisoners.
Which also not really like.
He told him if you pull that knife out, you're dead.
Yeah, he didn't
don't pull it out.
No. If John Wick wanted you dead, you're dead. Okay, like one clean shot to the head, one to the chest. You're done.
You liked him.
He might give you one to the chest. They should. Wouldn't he? You don't think he couldn't have carried that movie?
Okay.
Common and John Wick, man. Like I want to both.
I argue their acting range is the same.
Yeah, it is.
I agree with you.
This is right. Yeah, no, you're
I agree with you.
Maybe that's why they meshed it.
Acting range is the same.
Yeah.
Man.
No more trailers. That's it.
No,
or maybe Avatar too. Yeah. Other than that, man, I guess we'll wrap it up, man. If you want to, man. How long have we been going for?
2 hours.
It's like a staple question every time.
Yeah. 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Yeah, man.
So I think we thoroughly covered the movie. I think we covered all the bases.
That's a short one.
You guys want to run?
I was about to say,
I don't have anything else.
2 hours, 13 minutes. That's a short one for us, man. Like we usually go 3 hours.
For Wakanda Forever?
Yeah. Just pros, cons, predictions. But
pro storytelling was phenomenal. Cons, movie ran a little long. Black Panther for me wasn't strong enough. Like she just didn't carry enough weight for me to have her believable as far as technicality and physicality. But predictions, what's the context for predictions?
Just predictions.
I feel like with what we talked about before with young T'Challa, he's going to take over. They're going to do a time jump, and it's going to be hopefully about his. If they do it right, I feel like it's going to be about his journey to become Black Panther instead of having him automatically in the role for nothing. They need to make him earn it. So especially because he's not involved with Wakanda as of this point. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
Which is why he should have been involved with Wakanda the whole time. But I mean, pros. I mean, it was a beautiful movie as always with Marvel. That's one of the things we're very impressed with. Even DC, like I said, I like their color palette too. I like the grittiness of DC movies.
They're different.
But I like the Atlanteans. I thought they looked unique and cool and different. That's the thing with storytelling. I guess a con could be like the weaponry. We never get a good explanation of Wakandan technology, which Shuri should have filled that role. All right. And like, I didn't see enough of their militaristic, like their tactics were bad. You got routed twice, so that I have to factor that into storytelling, so for me, that's why I gave it 7. I'll give it a 7.6. Okay. Just to make you too happy. A little bit closer to an 8. Right. A little bit closer to 8. But those things matter. And I thought they didn't have a
rounds up to an 8. All right.
I thought they didn't have a strong male character that just a character, not a lead role, but a supporter like that, showed some leadership qualities.
What about Everett Ross? He was a leader.
I meant to bring him up because the CIA to the rescue, and like when he was committing treason and warning the Queen, like, bro, they should lock you up. And damn sure she didn't come for him. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, you work for the CIA, right? So, like, you can't do that, man. That's straight treason. I mean, you got to pick your battles, man. It didn't seem too smart. He was just like I'm glad they rescued him.
He'll be in the show.
Yeah, I'm glad they rescued him.
Show.
But I mean,
man, come on, the show's gonna be.
Nah, they shouldn't do it.
It's gonna be what your tie-in is, man.
They shouldn't do it.
Yeah,
not
many other cons other than that.
They're gonna cheapen it. They're gonna cheapen it with the fucking silly ass TV show. They shouldn't do it.
Man,
they're gonna cheapen it.
Is it cool directly in the show?
Nah, I don't know if he's directing. I know he's involved. But I'm not sure if he's directing.
Yeah, because they definitely left his story open-ended. He just got out the van and that was it.
They need to not do the show. They shouldn't do it. It's a mistake. It's a huge mistake. I think
the shows and the need to put content on your streaming platforms is watering down the movies somewhat.
That's
like they have to lead into the movie. They have to lead into the shows. And I don't watch a lot of the shows, but I feel like the quality of the movies.
That's all we have so far. It hasn't watered down anything.
WandaVision?
Watered down?
As far as like the spectacle that was the movie.
I thought WandaVision was good. But I think also WandaVision was the first. So
when you start having,
I think they did a really good job. But then they started. I think the more shows they started having, the more watered down it started to get, as far as that goes. Because they started to do really obscure characters and obscure things, and it's just.
I mean, it's not going to water down any more than Eternals did.
I feel like the Eternals is a movie,
which is bad.
I haven't watched a lot of the shows.
But I feel like Black Panther needs to remain big budget movie property. They shouldn't water it down with a TV show, because then it gives them an excuse because we can't mess this up, because Wakanda Forever, solid movie, Still, technically, they haven't messed it up for the culture. I feel like they're doing it with this TV show. I feel like it's going to mess it up somehow.
Wakanda Forever is definitely a solid movie. Like I said, I haven't watched any of the shows, so
I feel the exact opposite. Like the shows give you more tangibility, right? Like they give you this show, and I'm predicting. I don't know. I don't even know what it's about, but I get the feeling the show's going to give you more of the understanding of what's going on in the world of Wakanda. Mm-hmm. Like we're not just gonna be overviewing them watching the train go by as we jump into the castle. We're gonna actually get to see people in the environment. Like in the comics, whenever they have these side stories, they spend time with the people of the city. Right? It's gonna be Shuri or Okoye or Nakia, whoever is gonna be them actually talking with people who are in the city. And for me, I want more of that. And
I can see the promise in that. I do. I could definitely see the promise
because we know
in that.
less about Wakanda than anywhere else.
I'm just
because everywhere else is a reflection of what cities we already have.
I'm just scared. The only thing I'm scared is if they mess up once. Yeah. That's it. That's it for us. We don't get another Black Panther movie that has gravity, that holds weight, because we messed up with the TV show. Because we didn't take a more calculated risk with developing content over some years versus putting content in a TV show that may or may not work.
So if you guys watch,
I haven't watched any of the shows. Right, I can't speak to the shows.
You haven't watched any of the shows? I haven't watched She-Hulk. Yes,
I haven't watched any of them.
Yes.
I'm up. Maybe we're up until the last episode. But up to this point, I'm enjoying the show.
It's a fun show.
It's a fun show,
right?
And you get the issue she's dealing with isn't world threat issues.
No,
the issue she's dealing with is a lawyer drama.
Yeah,
and for me, that
nobody wants to see that.
But this is different.
But
this is different.
I'm talking about like the cinematic spectacle.
It's going to be different. It's going to be the if I'm predicting right, it's going to be the part that they're not going to get in the movie. It's going to be the mingling within Wakanda.
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
There's such a thing as oversaturation in media, right? Like, so, like, the more shows you come out with, it brings down the spectacle that is the movie, the cinematic event that we all went to remember. That's like seared into our brains, right? So, like, now you got She-Hulk, and you got to watch WandaVision to understand the movie, and then like. People get tired of it. It's hard to hold people's attention span. You don't care as much because there's so much of it out there. Like, and I think that's the part I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the quality of the show. That's what I'm saying. I can't speak to the quality of the show. I haven't watched any of them. But I think that the cinematic angle that I do like and have followed all these years has taken a hit since they came out with a proliferation of these shows. Because you have to put resources and time and effort and promotion into these shows, which is. It makes the movie suffer. Not this movie, not Black Panther, but like movies like Eternals and Shang-Chi. That was a whole phase of Marvel that brought the shows about that suffered because of the
shows.
Did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, it's not really a spoiler, D, but the Dora show up at some point in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Did you feel like that belonged? Like, did you feel like a sense of Wakanda, in that TV show when they showed up?
Because they basically
came to get a U.S. agent. I don't want to say too much, but like, remember with U.S. agent.
I thought it was cool that they popped up, right? So let me just say that. Whatever reason, I remember them being there and me being like, dope. Like, it's dope that they're here. They did the little fight scene. So I was like, that's cool as hell.
So you like the fact that they were showing up outside of the movies.
Crossovers. Like, I loved it.
Okay.
Like, so crossovers always been a big thing in the comics, right? Yeah. Even in She-Hulk, you had DD in there. Like, that was dope, man. They teamed up for that moment, for that episode.
So
I love that though, man.
I love seeing him again.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with some of the internet when they say he's a watered down version of Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah,
100%.
Hard to say after one episode when he teamed up with She-Hulk.
He had 2 episodes where he
Two episodes?
Yeah, he. Oh, you didn't watch the last episode yet, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, he's in that too.
All right, well, fine. But even still, like,
he does more stuff there too.
Cool. All right, I'm still sure I'm gonna love it, but like
I want like don't get me wrong, I want to see Born Again bad. Like I want to see because I really need them to bring like the dark Netflix Daredevil back.
They might. But, here's the thing, right?
Because I want to see because Born Again is like that. It's like the Daredevil storyline, right? Mm-hmm. Like so, I want to see that. I just hope that like from what I saw with She-Hulk, I'm just like it's not the same. It's absolutely not the same. And I feel like I'm hoping that's not an indicator of the direction that they're going to go with Born Again and a general indicator of how they're approaching these TV shows versus the movies. I know the budgets are different, but they're trying to treat these TV budgets like it's the same as the movies.
Remember. And
it's not. And we're getting the quality, quote, I'm using bunny ears here, the quality that we're getting from these TV shows as a result, it's not the same. It doesn't match up.
I think I need to remind you guys that Ben Affleck was Daredevil.
Yes.
That movie was good. I stayed on that movie, man. That movie was good. I like that movie.
Rest my case. Like we should always remember where we've come from.
But we remember that he was
what we went through.
But this is different. This is different. I'm talking about the Netflix show, which came first, which is the standard.
I loved it. It was
that show was
100% great. I love that show. Right. 3 seasons, all fucking great, fantastic. Like
I did not watch
Chef's Kiss, good stuff. But in She-Hulk now, we've been waiting forever for this dude to come back into like even seeing him in No Way Home was like, this is great, because this means that he's coming back.
Yeah.
But we're seeing him in action in She-Hulk, and we're like, and honestly to me, I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
All right, I only have the one episode that I saw, and I'll probably finish the last one tonight. But the one episode I saw, he was scrapping in that joint. I don't know.
He was, but was he scrapping as well as he was in the Netflix one?
He clearly didn't have the issues he was going through in that one.
That's what we need from Daredevil.
Okay,
that's what we need from Daredevil.
But let him get there.
And let's right now. Okay, so that's fine. Let's keep it there.
He just got some side piece.
Let's keep it there. That's true. That's true. So he's a little more. He's
cheerful right now. He's feeling better.
But let's keep that there. I'm talking about quality. I'm not talking about like that per se, but we're talking about like quality, right? He's not going through the darkness and the issues, right?
Yeah.
Now take that with the big budget, of like the Netflix shows. Let's take that with Black Panther, right? We need to have the interwoven storyline of the main characters in Black Panther because Wakanda is a big place, right? It's a big place and you can cover a lot of people, but we really want to know. We need the main story with Black Panther, with the council, with the family or whatever family is left. We need that, right, to hold it together, and we need to concentrate on that. We have a young T'Challa now, right? Like, if the TV show has to do with him, then maybe that makes a little more sense.
Give him that's where he's gonna grow up.
But I still feel like it's important for him to have his own movie.
I feel like he will. He is definitely gonna get his own movie.
I just hope that the TV show is not a lead up for him to have his own movie, because having a TV show lead up to the movie, I feel like
it's
that's
gonna be cheap. Like WandaVision. It's gonna be like WandaVision. WandaVision was taking Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, giving her some more context, and then putting her in a bigger movie in which she played a major role as a villain. Now, the people who didn't watch it didn't get that she had switched sides, right? But that also could have been explained.
But that's a problem.
Like briefly.
That's a problem. That's what I mean. The quality is suffering for the fact of putting out content.
That's not quality.
It is because that's storytelling. That's storytelling. They didn't clearly explain.
Do you think
that's storytelling? So all it takes is a couple sentences, a couple lines of dialogue.
They could have fixed that. The movie could have fixed that by adding a single explanation of what that happened.
But what you just said, they could have explained that in the movie, right? They could. So like, are you saying? Okay, let me say it this way. Do you think that they could have taken all of WandaVision and put it in like a 10 to 15 minute prologue in Doctor Strange to give Wanda more weight, make us understand her as the villain, and then start the movie with Doctor Strange and America Chavez and their adventures?
Yeah, they could have.
Do you think they could have accomplished the same thing in 5 to 10 minutes than they could have WandaVision in 9 hours?
By what do you mean by same thing? Like
a prologue,
why she switched?
Yes, and just boiling it down to the main facts.
The main facts was she lost
about
children.
Her kids, right? You haven't watched WandaVision, right?
I haven't watched.
But you saw
Daredevil, and I did watch Defenders.
But you did see Doctor Strange.
That's what I'm talking about.
You saw Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I see all the movies.
You know what's about.
Yeah.
So do you think?
And that's my problem with Doctor Strange is I didn't understand her motivation. Do you think in the 5-10 minute prologue, right? Like a really nice storytelling aspect of it in the beginning of the movie, like, you know, maybe a voiceover, maybe a voiceover of flashbacks. Maybe a voiceover of her narrating why she's telling the story and what the story is leading to, and what you're about to watch, why she is the way she is, right? Do you think they could have accomplished that in a 5 to 10 minute prologue, boiling it down to the main facts? She had her kids. Which were fake. She lost her kids, and she lost Vision.
I don't think adding them that they were fake mattered, right? That
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
The fact that she lost her kids and the fact that it matters back.
Yes,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, they should have added that into the movie.
So why have the TV show? Why have the TV show extend that to 9 hours? They could have easily done that in the movie
because the TV show was amazing and
the TV show was good. It was good, but was it necessary?
Well, first off, you're assuming that only the movie is ever necessary, right?
No, I'm not saying the movie is not just necessary.
They could have done Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness without WandaVision at all. Just him and America Chavez.
They didn't need to make her the villain. They didn't need her at all.
So like, it doesn't matter that like whether or not WandaVision the show tied to the movie, right? Like they could. I agree. They should have a 5 minute.
They could have
breakdown.
They could have
would have been good for the movie.
Yeah.
Right. So for people who didn't watch it,
with the TV show existing alongside it,
and it would push people to go like, "Whoa, what happened? I want to know." So
let's go back and watch the TV show.
Right?
I get that.
So mistake on their part, right? But I wouldn't say that like. I don't think it would have worked to put that into its own movie. I think that would have been
no. I wouldn't think that would have worked. Movie, but I'm saying that's why I'm saying like a 10-minute prologue in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I think that would have worked.
Okay,
I think they could have made that work
with or without the TV show.
Even using, what do you mean? Like having TV show?
So like, let's say the TV show didn't exist, and then they had like a 5-10 minute prologue. In its own fashion, being able to fit within the confines of the story of the movie Doctor Strange. Do you think that would have been as serviceable?
No.
I do.
No,
I do.
Wait,
absolutely do.
No, because you have to understand the context. Like I felt like if you watch the show, you understand what it was going through. You understand why at the end she probably would have wanted to kill herself because it was a big deal. That whole thing. All of that was so much that she had to deal with. And then you can't like make that into like a prequel jammed into a movie about something else. It was too much context. Like there's way too much context. You're not even talking about the other characters who went in there. You're not even talking about Agatha Harkness. You're not even you're not even talking about like the dome.
I was laughing
like the fact that she made multiple. She made another universe essentially.
Yeah, she made another
untouchable by the rest of the world.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
sure it was
a lot of that couldn't just be. You can't.
So certain things, like I was saying, like you don't have to include those facts. Like you said her having kids and losing them is motivation enough, right? So something like that put into the context of Doctor Strange. Now, do you think that something like that, if it were in the movie, again, let's just say the TV show didn't exist, if something like that were in the movie, do you think that would have made her more? I'm trying to struggle with the words here, but like a better villain or like more of a villain, like with her being just fucking nuts and she will do whatever it takes. She will do whatever it takes to get her children back. And maybe it's misguided with the story that we're being told. And then the rest of the movie will explain.
They took my children. I want them back.
I want them back. And like a 5 to 10 minute prologue.
But then you gotta like explain.
But that's the movie's job. But that's the movie's job to start to explain like the multiverse and how that. But then we're gonna be like,
she didn't have no kids.
The movie will explain that. The movie will explain that she had not in 10 minutes. The rest of the movie will like in the beginning of the movie we're led to believe, oh shit, we're on her side, right? Like she's acting the fool, and we would think like she's the protagonist, and Doctor Strange is trying to stop her. Like, why is Doctor Strange acting like this? Why is he doing the shit that's so out of character? And then we go through the movie, and then we start to realize that she's lying, or that the kids are fake, and that she's trying to get the audience to sympathize with her. And then we realize that Doctor Strange is actually
the whole idea of
trying to stop her.
Fake would make it chaos.
Exactly.
You have her. No, for us.
No.
For us watching it. Wait, she made up kids? Why? When? What?
She made up kids because we know the nature of her power. She can do literally anything.
We know she makes flashy red beam lights.
No, we know.
We don't know anything about her.
We know she's
the fabric of the universe.
We know she's not
know from the previous movies.
We know that she. So take God, what was the Infinity War? With Vision and his gem, right? Changing the fabric of the gem altered the gem itself, and then remember Shuri had to work on it before she did anything with it to kind of like, I don't know what the fuck she tried to do, but like and shit like that. And also on top of that, her being able to like, take on Thanos pretty much by herself outside of Captain Marvel.
It still just came out as beanie red powers.
I feel like at some point we knew Age of Ultron. Okay. When she made the Hulk go crazy and she had Tony Stark have those dreams, and there was one other thing that she did in that movie that was really like relevant,
but that would still be just psychic manipulation.
But
which isn't building a universe.
So what about having that? What about having the Doctor Strange movie after said prologue start to make us really understand that she is not only more powerful than we thought she was, but she's also crazy. She's also absolutely nuts. And we have 2 hours and change to go through that journey, not only with her, but also Doctor Strange trying to stop her from doing all of that.
Yeah,
I'm just asking you to think if it's feasible.
Different movie.
I'm just asking you to think if it was feasible.
Like we wouldn't have the scene with Doctor Strange facing off against himself. We wouldn't have a lot of.
No,
we wouldn't have.
We wouldn't. But what we would have is a very character-driven movie of two superheroes, one hero and a hero going against each other with just straight up magic. Right? Magic and spells, because her motivation, I will do anything to get my children back. His motivation, I have to stop her, because if she's able to do anything, or we find out that she's able to do anything, if she gets too powerful, if she transforms into the Scarlet Witch in this movie, let's say, she transforms into the Scarlet Witch, I have to stop her. And I have to stop her at any means before she fucking breaks the world.
Okay.
Because she can think it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's feasible or it's plausible. I don't know, man. Like,
I'm not saying
it's plausible. I guess they could have made that work.
Getting back to the point, I felt like certain TV shows weren't necessary. I see the necessity of some, but like there's so many now of characters that no one gives a shit about that like now it's like all the TV shows that are coming, especially next year, 5 TV shows are coming. 5 in 1 year.
I love it.
But it's like what does that mean? What is that going to prove?
So
I feel
not
like
everybody cares about every hero that's going to pop up. Nobody gives a fuck about the Eternals.
Nobody cares about
Generally.
Moon Knight.
No,
Nobody
but
cares
you know
about
when that movie came
Miss
out, when they
Marvel's
started
gonna
to
matter.
push promotion for their platform,
Miss Marvel is going to matter
by coming out with new content on there, right? So like, I think the thing that turned Disney into a powerhouse was
it would cheapen her character.
The thing that turned Disney into a powerhouse was the anticipation of this event, right? Like you never had to go have a show in the last phase that drove the narrative and the story for a movie. It was an event that happened. That's what turned it to what gave you the shows, right? So like, and I think, man, it's kind of going against Disney, man. I mean, this is from 4 days ago. LA Times reported an operating loss of nearly 1.5 billion, more than doubling its loss of 630 million during the same quarter a year earlier. So they lost 1.5 billion in operating loss. This was 4 days ago. So
I don't know. Like
I think people are sharing passwords, or maybe
and
plus your operating costs. You're producing a lot more shows. You're not putting all of your resources into these events and these movies.
But that's
you're producing these smaller stories.
To Marvel.
And it is because it's driving the movie. The shows are driving the movies now. Like you have to watch.
That could have been tied to Star Wars.
I know people enjoy
tied to.
True,
one of the other movies,
but a lot of it is the shows that we're talking about now, WandaVision, and you know what I mean. Like, so you're trying to. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I haven't watched any show, so I can't speak to the storyline and what was better and what would have worked and what wouldn't have. But I'm talking about strictly from a oversaturation point of view. It's like you don't give a shit. Who cares about WandaVision? Truly, who cares about She-Hulk? I don't care. Even if they came out with a She-Hulk movie, do I want to go see it? Do I want to watch 9 hours of She-Hulk? I mean. I guess maybe it's for some people, it's not for everybody. And
exactly.
But they have to have known this because they knew they were going to lose some money on this, right? Because people share passwords.
They lost money.
Operating loss has to be salary, you know what production costs,
right now?
Advertising, operating.
Yeah, Twitter's losing money. Like motherfucking companies lose money, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but remember the days of Marvel when they would gross $1 billion. Do you ever think there would be a movie that comes out again, a cinematic movie that grosses $1 billion? Did Black Panther, the first one, gross $1 billion?
Yes.
You think this one will?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's already at.
I think maybe overall, but did Black Panther reach?
Track to be 400 million.
Did Black Panther reach? That's probably because they released. Are we talking about worldwide numbers? Like, did it reach $1 billion while in the movie theaters?
I heard that.
It was $1 billion overall.
Why not? Because of that one scene.
What scene?
When Anika kisses Io.
I don't know.
And says, "Thank you."
I feel like movies used to be an event, and now it's just
that's weird. What the fuck?
Nobody cares.
That's why they don't.
What y'all care about it?
Like I mean, honestly, I like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I don't care about. I would have cared more if it was Falcon and Captain America.
See, here's the thing: if you don't care about Falcon and Winter Soldier, you weren't gonna watch anything.
The great thing is with me not having watched this, I can still watch it and I can go back and appreciate it with no expectations.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Anytime you feel like
watching it, yeah. I don't hate that they're coming out with content. From a business standpoint, you need to build off of what you've established to drive your platform.
You can't know that.
So you have to come out with content. You have to come out with 5 shows.
Everybody's not.
You need people to subscribe.
Like there's a number of people who are not going to watch Black Panther. They just don't care.
Yeah. I know that.
That's the problem with HBO Max.
There's a bunch of people. There's even a bunch of people that I know who have not watched a single Marvel movie.
Yeah.
They just don't want to. They don't care to.
They don't care. Just heroes is not their thing.
It's not their thing.
But even for the hero fans,
like they don't care. But like it's like even for those of us who do care, like I feel like they're doing too much, and I feel like I don't want them doing too much to fuck with Black Panther.
And I think they did by the late reveal of his son.
To it, man.
His son is going to tie into the show, whatever show it is. What's the name of the show?
I don't know. I don't even know.
I thought it was Wakanda.
His son's going to tie in.
I think it's called Warriors of Wakanda.
So it's going to be really. So if it's Warriors of Wakanda, it's going to be about Ao and Nneka.
Probably Ao and Nneka.
That's what it's going to be about.
Zora.
Because here, Wakanda Forever was the story of Ao and Nneka. They did Wakanda Forever for the movie. Warriors of Wakanda is going to be about Eowyn and Eka. That's just what's going to be. And that was definitely that comic series.
I don't know if that's the title, but still, anyway.
Well, that series was really centered in Wakanda, dealing with the drama within the Dora Milaje and how they kind of split.
Yep.
I mean, if we're predicting, that's what it's going to be about.
Mm.
And if that's the case, Shuri will be in it, but she's not going to be.
She's not going to be.
She's not going to. Yeah, she's not going to be integral to the whole story, right? And they're probably going to break up the council.
I feel like it would work. I feel like it would work if it were like that, right? Like if we don't, kind of like how they've been doing it. Kind of like how
shows.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is pretty big. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier had Falcon and Winter Soldier in it.
I would agree.
Well, what?
Falcon and Winter Soldier had the two of them in it.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything like pivotal,
like you mean
right?
Major or pivotal?
Yeah, like majorly pivotal. Like they had a fake ass Captain America come in who got booted the fuck out, and then somebody was trying to the Taskmaster was whatever.
Taskmaster was Black Widow.
Oh, that's right. The girl with the mask.
You're talking about the super soldier girl?
Yeah, her.
Oh, I don't remember her name. The villain, right? In Falcon and Winter Soldier, the one with red hair.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Exactly. She was doing some shit, and this was about. And the show was mainly about Bucky and Sam
getting the shield
back.
Getting
the shield back and teaming up again.
You don't think them getting the shield back was pivotal? Like
it was pivotal, but only because in that same show we found out that they didn't have it.
Well, Falcon gave it away. He gave it to the museum. And then
they
Bucky's like, "Yo, what the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, let's get it back. All of that happened within the show. At the end of the Infinity, we knew he put in the museum, right?
Yeah.
Or
no,
so,
it was in the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier. We didn't know what he did with it.
We didn't know. So all of
that. We didn't know what he did.
All of that is really contained within that show. So all of that. So you can jump from the end of Infinity to the next whenever the fuck they pop up, and they'll have the shield still. You're right, but that's not true. Loki was pivotal to the MCU. The TV show Loki was pivotal to the MCU because we get introduced to Kang for the first time, and it kicks off Phase 4. Not kicks off Phase 4. It kicks off Phase 4. Mm-hmm.
It kicks off Phase 4. Like Loki was the start of Phase 4. Once it ended, Phase 4 is underway.
Phase 4 has a pivotal part of Phase 4? What's triggered it? What was it?
Loki?
Yeah.
Kang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kang. So cool. But he's also going to be
Kang.
in the movie.
Not only Kang. TVA. Multiverse. Different timelines. That was pivotal to the MCU because that's the train they're riding right now. Or they whatever they want us to think.
But if you didn't know about it, that also came about completely unrelated in Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness came way later.
Yeah. But
Spider-Man addressed the multiverse. Far From Home addressed the multiverse before Loki did.
There you go.
But Far From Home was a movie. Far From Home was a movie.
Look, what are we saying? Like, what's the issue?
You said that nothing pivotal happens in a TV show.
Yeah.
I'm saying Loki had something pivotal happen in it for two reasons.
Kang shows up at the end of time
and time, the multiverse.
Well, and the end of time is at the end of time, right?
He shows up at the end of time. He shows up at the end of time, but the multiverse, the whole TVA, but it was also reintroduced independently. It was reintroduced independently by Spider-Man and Doctor Strange movies, which means it's okay. Yeah,
because they introduced it independently.
But I'm saying to the point that you said that nothing pivotal happens in these TV shows. Loki was a TV show, and that was very pivotal.
He said nothing pivotal happened in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It's not pivotal anymore because it's only pivotal. It's only pivotal if it's the only point in which it pivots. Right?
No, it was pivotal at the time when it happened.
At the time when it happened. But that same pivot happened in two other places.
After the fact.
But it doesn't matter after the fact.
But
if you didn't see,
but
if you didn't see Loki and you
It was
didn't know about the
pivotal because it was the first.
multiverse. It was pivotal because it was the first, but it's not the only. So if you
It's
didn't
not the
see
only.
Loki,
it's not the only,
exactly.
but,
So it's not
but if it
pivotal.
wasn't for Loki, well, I would say Far From Home. So sorry.
You know
Far
what
From
introduced
Home
the
was the
multiverse
first
to the
movie-
audience? The movies.
Far From
Go
Home
ahead.
was the first movie in Phase 4. It was the first movie in Phase 4. Oh, actually, no. Was it the last movie in Phase 3?
No, it was the first in Phase 4.
Because it was after
It
Endgame.
was after Endgame.
Phase,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
Endgame was
Far From Home was the last movie in Phase 3.
Far
Endgame.
From Home was the
Far
last
From
movie in
Home.
Phase
Far
3.
From Home was considered the end of Phase 3, for sure. Because it would happen. It happened like.
Maybe because
I
it
think
came out
like-
so close to.
I think
Endgame.
I think like
Didn't it
a
come out like
year, less than
couple
a
months?
year
Yeah,
after the events of Endgame.
I remember it was
That
recent
happened.
because I was still hurting from Tony Stark.
It was
They
actually-
kept
it was
showing
actually just a
Tony
few
Stark
months.
references. Yeah,
So Far From Home references the multiverse briefly.
Okay.
but you know
Right,
what they
the
couldn't
movie.
do? They couldn't introduce the
Loki
multiverse
comes a
in
few
Loki
years
and not do
later.
it in the movie, so they had
Loki
to do
comes
it.
a few years. Loki comes a few years later, and the entire TV show is about the TVA and the alternate timelines and going to fix them. Right.
Fix some timelines.
So timelines, multiverse, it exists. Pivotal moment. Now, Doctor Strange and No Way Home address the multiverse as well, but years later from that.
So you're saying it's pivotal because they addressed it in a different way?
No, it's pivotal because it addressed it first. And that's the moment where that's the moment where the multiverse really came into play.
All right, I'm not talking about pivotal as far as like within the story. I mean pivotal as far as of the observers, right? The people watching.
Uh-huh.
So it's not pivotal if you didn't watch Loki.
No.
You're aware of the multiverse.
Yes.
And you have a pretty good understanding of how it works.
Yes. From
So
Far
it's not
From Home,
pivotal.
from No
You
Way
didn't watch
Home,
it.
from.
So he didn't watch it, but
But that kind of
It
proves
doesn't-
Frank's
it doesn't-
point
it doesn't-
about
it doesn't-
do you need the WandaVision moment? You know, the
it
Wanda
doesn't.
moment.
It doesn't.
You know, you
It
could add a
doesn't.
prologue.
It doesn't negate the fact that it exists and it existed first. It did it first.
Yeah, but that
So-
doesn't. But that doesn't make it pivotal though.
It doesn't change. It doesn't change the fact that the two movies, the No Way Home and Doctor Strange, addressed it.
Uh-huh.
But there was another
In
entire
two
TV
other
show.
different ways.
There was another
There's three
entire.
different ways it was addressed.
There was another entire TV show that introduced it in a big way, in the biggest way. Far From Home. I'm not gonna say it mentions it like one line in Far From Home,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just like kind of alluding to it. TVA, Loki, yo, we're dealing with the multiverse. We're literally traveling from universe to universe,
Jumping to fix the shit.
right? Jumping in to fix things. The multiverse is real. It's happening. It ends with Kang, with the dude at the end of time, right? And then you fucked with him, and now he's gonna go and fuck everything up. And you saw with the final scene that like it's all fucked up now, right? So the multiverse is in play now. It is in play now. It's opened up now, right? The idea, it's more than an idea now. It's real now, especially with the way that it ended. That is still existing. Now, within that, you have No Way Home, which addresses the multiverse by bringing the 3 Spider-Man and all the villains, the Sinister Five. And then you have Doctor Strange, which addresses the multiverse. He's also traveling from universe to universe. But those are standalone stories within the bigger aspect that Loki opened up.
So you're saying Loki is pivotal because the overall end of the story, the overall the infinity moment of this newest arc,
and
is going to be
introducing the new big bad. Yes.
Okay.
This is the beginning of that. This is the pivotal moment where not only do we get introduced to the multiverse in a large way, but now we have our new big bad villain. Right. We have our new big bad villain that is literally going around as we speak and fucking it all up for everyone just because he can.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm with you then.
That's how I see pivotal. Right. That's how I see it. Things change.
I thought you were talking about the reference of the multiverse, but when you talk about the impact that the disruption of the multiverse, for me, yes, that is pivotal.
Yes,
and that only happened in Loki.
That only happened in Loki.
Right. Okay,
right. Loki had those two big things within that TV show. So I wouldn't say nothing pivotal happens in a TV show.
Wasn't pivotal. The TVA was only pivotal.
The TVA were like the time police.
Yeah,
they're not pivotal,
and they're not like But
look at what they were doing.
The disruption at the end is
100%.
Yeah, I'm with you.
100%. 1000%. Like, there's no way that TV show was not pivotal.
Yeah.
Especially with Kang, like he's here
will
now.
They re-explain it? Because here, I feel like there was a lesson to be learned.
I hope not, because they're gonna have a Loki season 2.
Because I think there was a lesson they learned with Multiverse of Madness. When people complained, they're like, "Hey, I didn't watch the show. What the fuck? What's happening? Why is WandaVision bad?" So I feel like Disney's paying attention.
I think don't underestimate the number of people that have not watched the show and do not know anything, but will go to the movies to see Black Panther 2. Like, they haven't watched any show, but they went to see. Like, there's a lot of people who
the biggest movie of the year.
But that's the general audience. That's who you're drawing your numbers from. So like when there are when people complain about moments that happen in the movie that you had to watch the show to understand.
Because
but I don't care about Loki.
That disruption.
Like, Loki was never one of my favorite characters.
Wasn't like WandaVision, which took really 9 episodes to go through.
Mm-hmm.
That disruption didn't happen in
one episode.
They can break that down
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was one thing that happened. They explained that,
but at the beginning
of whatever, or maybe they even reference through a couple of movies heading up. They can clear that up.
I mean, am I the only one y'all have talked to that hasn't watched the TV show, the streaming shows that didn't understand?
You guys are the only people I talk to anyway.
Yeah.
One of the only ones
that didn't understand Wanda's motivations. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nobody else that was like.
Yeah, I mean, most people I know have watched the TV shows, or at least have some understanding of like.
I mean, it didn't make or break the movie for me. I was just like, what is she doing? Yeah. That's cool. I mean, I get it. From a business standpoint, you have to have
pay attention.
You have to have.
You gotta let people know about Kang. They didn't watch Loki.
Yeah,
they didn't watch Loki.
but I know more. I know more about Kang.
He ain't watch Loki.
I know more about Kang from social media than from Loki. You know what I'm saying? Like I think if you want to drive your business, like, do I want to sit through? I've watched videos of like
you watch all of House of whatever the Dragon. I'm sorry, that's just some shit.
No, that was more dialogue written story. That was dialogue written
better
story.
Than that, and Loki was better than that. I'm sorry.
Loki was really good.
I wasn't, but I wasn't. I don't care about.
I enjoyed Wanda.
I don't care about Wanda. Really I don't care about Vision enough to watch a show about them. Like, which is why it hasn't never.
The show is really well done, though.
But I know people like it. People like it, but there are a lot of people that have not watched it.
The only interesting person in the show was Viserys. We all know.
Yeah, no, it's 2 different types of shows though. That's like dialogue driven. One is supposed to be,
Oh, speaking of shows, sorry. What?
Yeah, that's two different types of shows, man. Yeah. Did you watch House of the Dragon?
No, not yet. No.
That's a quality show, man. It's more dialogue driven. Dialogue driven story.
I watched it and I finished it because I felt obligated. Lord of the Rings, though.
You'll watch season 2.
Rings of Power.
I've been heard Rings of Power.
Really good.
I'm loving it.
Is it over? Is it over yet?
I think they're done, man. I have one episode left, and I haven't seen nothing else pop up. So
I probably
I'm enjoying that, John. If you like the movies,
I've been watching Chainsaw Man, so I'm trying.
Yo, I heard that joke's good.
Chainsaw Man is so good. It's so good.
I did watch that.
It's so good. I'm not sure if you're an anime head, but it's so good. It's so good. It only has 6 episodes so far, but check it out. It's so funny and it's so good.
Catch up on.
Last anime
I gotta watch My Hero, Mob Psycho 3.
That was dope.
Fucking, just so much stuff.
Yeah, I got a lot of anime to catch up on myself.
Yeah, man.
I've been slacking big time, but I did catch Chainsaw Man.
I got to like episode 3, and then I
found
Skyrim.
I've committed a sin. I have not watched a single episode of Demon Slayer yet. That's a sin. I know. I will. But I plan to. I do. I'm gonna watch the last episode of Chainsaw Man that they have up right now, and I'm gonna start Demon Slayer probably tonight. Well, no, I'm tripping. God of War. God of War tonight.
Priorities.
God of War tonight. But someday.
Yeah, Demon Slayer is one of those.
I hear nothing but great things about it, and I hear the animation is just out of this world. So, but so is Chainsaw Man. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna watch that joke for
Yeah.
sure. I got Crunchyroll. I barely even look at it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you got Crunchyroll, I mean, if you have Hulu, it's on Hulu too.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't want to say it on air, man, but I'll show you this site that my boy showed me, man. They got like every anime. They probably have it, man. Let me look at
Really?
it. Yeah, I'll show you. I don't want to say it on air because
Well, I don't know if you guys want to.
Oh yeah, we can wrap this up, man. We're at cool
Alright,
3
guys.
hours.
I think
man.
we wrapped. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's it.
Watch.
Thanks for joining us, and
Wakanda Forever.
see you next time, man.
Wakanda forever.
It was definitely militarized, man. I was like,
It's a salute.
Yeah,
What do you want?
I don't know. Look at the.
It's a
hold on,
salute
let me
to their
look at.
king.
Let's show one.